Welcome to the 6A state championship game. Pulaski Academy and Greenwood getting ready to kick it off here in the capital city. Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Moore, joined by RJ Hawk, and Little Rock is very proud to be hosting the state championship games again. And tonight, we've got a good one. Two of the storied programs, two of the top programs in the state of Arkansas meeting for the 6A title. Pulaski Academy moving up from 5A to 6A. And tonight they get Greenwood. And RJ, when the news first came out months and months ago that Pulaski Academy was moving up to 6A, many people thought, oh, we finally get that PA Greenwood game. And we get it. A rematch in the state championship game.
Yeah, you go back to week 9 of the regular season, and I think that pretty much if you keep up with high school football in the state of Arkansas, you looked at that regular season matchup between Greenwood and Pulaski Academy, in which Pulaski Academy went to Greenwood, and everybody said, you know what, this is going to be a just knockout, drag-out fight. You're going to see 70-71, you know, type football game. It was quite the opposite. You saw defense in the game, but you also saw two quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks, that didn't get to finish those games. And so it kind of left people with a little bit of hunger. They were like, what if Kel Busby played in this game, Hunter Houston played in this game, what would it have looked like? Granted, they played a lot of the game, but what would it have looked like if you get to the fourth quarter? And so now tonight at War Memorial Stadium, you're going to see that. You're going to see both quarterbacks. You've got two teams that are extremely healthy and playing some of the best football they've had all year.
Yeah, I'm expecting an offensive explosion tonight. I think this could be a long football game. I know we complain sometime about the length of football games. I think we could be in store for a long 3-hour game, maybe 3-hour plus. I got to think there are going to be a lot of points scored tonight. Let's take a look at how these two teams got here. They both got a first-round bye, so they only played 2 games in the playoffs. For Greenwood, they knocked off Russellville 42-7 in the first round. Then they beat Benton last week, 31-24, and that was a fourth-quarter comeback for Greenwood. Some key plays in that game. Hunter Houston making a fourth-down play to pick up first down. They were tested by the Benton Panthers in the semifinals. Now, for Pulaski Academy, they knocked off Mountain Home 52-33 in the first round of their first playoff game. Interesting note, Kel Busby was knocked out of that game. Brandon Cobb came in and played really, really well for Kel Busby. Brandon's kind of gotten his feet wet and has become a much better quarterback. And then last week, right here at War Memorial Stadium, Pulaski Academy knocked off Catholic 54-42. Did you hear those scores from PA? 52 in the first game, 50. That's 51 points per game. They averaged 49 a game during the regular season, but they are upping it up just a little bit in the postseason.
And you know, I watched both the semifinal games with Greenwood and Benton and Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Catholic, and they easily could have been state championship games. The Greenwood-Benton game came down to the last 10 seconds of the game. Greenwood went on a drive, and really the wide receiving core for this Greenwood team is something special, and that's what won it for them in that Benton game. On the other side with Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Catholic, that was just a back-and-forth affair. Pulaski Academy got out big in that ball game, and Catholic came roaring back like they have all season long. And so I really do expect in this game, Wes, that you talked about the offensive explosion, but both of these teams have been battle-tested a little bit in the postseason now. And so coming here after knowing what they saw in Week 9, I think it's going to be a dandy of a ball game.
Two experienced teams. They're used to playing here for championships. They're not going to be intimidated by the moment. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you set for kickoff. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone, from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before, exploring Arkansas from above.
Download the PBS video app or watch online. Okay, let's go right up in here and start having some fun.
Such a thrill to be able to do this.
Recreation is the gateway drug to conservation.
How do you create that perfect straight edge? You can do anything. History is today. Chasing the American dream.
Experience something personal.
A place of imagination.
I can go anywhere I want to go.
You guys are just going to love it.
An entertainment experience unlike anything.
There's something for everyone with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Back at War Memorial Stadium for the 6A title game, Pulaski Academy and Greenwood. The captains are at midfield. The coin toss is about to happen. Let's take a look at some of the players to watch in this game, key players, and we'll start with Pulaski Academy. RJ, got to keep an eye on the quarterback.
Yeah, and Kel Busby for Pulaski Academy has thrown for over 3,700 yards, 41 touchdowns this year with 12 interceptions. But the best part about Kel Busby, he's a 65% passer on the season. Not only can he do it with his arm, but he can also do it with his leg. If he gets in trouble, he can run a little bit. And really, this offense runs through him. They're most proficient when he's in the ball game. And I look to see a big game out of him tonight on the Pulaski Academy side. Wes, on the other side, Greenwood, they've got another good one with Hunter Houston.
Yes, this quarterback makes this offense go. They've thrown for over 4,000 yards this season. They've ran the ball for 1,500, so you can tell they are a passing team. Hunter Houston has thrown for 3,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He's also ran the ball for 178 yards and 9 touchdowns for on the season. That's 39 touchdowns that Hunter Houston is responsible for. Let's meet the third member of our crew. Dorian Kraft is down on the sideline. Dorian.
Thanks, Wes. Head coach Anthony Lucas told Pulaski Academy after their Week 9 loss at Greenwood that the Bruins would see the Bulldogs again in December. Lucas said in the first matchup he thought offensively at times they tried to stretch the field at inopportune moments. The game plan tonight is to take what Greenwood's defense is giving them. He told me prior to kickoff that the Bruins have something to prove. Meanwhile, for Greenwood, head coach Chris Young said the goal is just to play Bulldogs football. Young said the challenge of playing against Pulaski Academy is that they can cause you to second-guess yourself and you find yourself chasing points early. Young reminded his team that this is a long game to stay composed and to go out and to play Bulldog football for the next 48 minutes.
Thank you, Dorian. That is one of the things about Pulaski Academy football. They're long games. Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of scoring and there are a lot of emotions. There are a lot of big plays. There's the onside kicks. There are 2-point conversions. There are fourth downs. I mean, a fourth down can be a big play in just a normal game, but PA does that every single drive. They're going for it on fourth down. So the emotions, the roller coaster, it can be a very long game as you see the Bruins come out onto the field. Pulaski Academy, that last matchup, I looked this up because we were talking about the 23 points they were held to against Greenwood. You had to go back to 2018 to find when PA scored fewer than 23 points in the game, and that was 22 against a team from Texas. And I tell you what, that Bruins offense, I think they're going to come out with something to prove tonight. Some keys to the game for Pulaski Academy. Coach Lucas told us they're going to have to take advantage of what Greenwood gives them. I know he just told Dorian Kraft that, you know what, maybe we went and tried to go deep a couple of times. Well, if Greenwood's giving it, they're going to do that. But they can't make any turnovers. They got to win the turnover battle.
No, you're exactly right. And you got to play almost mistake-free football on the Greenwood side. You got to recover the onside kick. Every team that plays Pulaski Academy has to struggle with. During practice, you don't normally go and, work on recovering the onside kick. That's one thing that they're going to have to do to be successful today. Also, stop that 2-point conversion. Pulaski Academy almost all the time goes for that 2-point conversion to extend the lead, and if they can stop that tonight, they will be a successful team.
Greenwood recovered every onside kick against Pulaski Academy in their first matchup, and they also did a good job on the 2-point conversions. Our weather here in Little Rock, it's 46 degrees. It feels even colder. It's 43 out there with a little wind chill. Just a small wind, though, 5 miles per hour. Good football weather. It's not going to affect these teams. They're going to be getting up and down the field, so that 46 won't be bad at all. Maybe a little chilly in the stands, but I tell you what, with all the action, there's going to be a lot of cheering, and that'll keep everybody warm. There's the kickoff for Greenwood. Pulaski Academy returner picks it up at the 10. He gets out to about the 25-yard line, knocked out of bounds by Braden Skaggs for Greenwood. Cale Busby will go to work with Kenny Jordan in the backfield. And what a great job. We haven't mentioned Kenny Jordan, but Kenny Jordan taking over for Joe Hyman. He has been outstanding this year. 2,300 total yards, over 1,500 rushing, 800 receiving, 29 touchdowns. Kenny Jordan has been outstanding. Jordan is lined up to the left of Busby. Brings a receiver in motion. That's John Mark Charette. Going to give it to Jordan. Over the right side. Spinning. Jordan. Almost a first down. Give him 9 yards on the first play for the Bruins.
Yeah, that was a great run that time. And, you know, that's one thing. You always think about the passing attack with Pulaski Academy, but the fact that they can stretch it out with the running game and really be a two-headed monster in that aspect, you just saw it right there, reeled off 8 yards.
Jordan's going to go in motion. Busby in the backfield all alone. Low snap. He gets it. Quick pass out to McKinney. McKinney's got the first down. He's got a little bit more. You see the Bulldogs trying to rip that ball out, but McKinney picks up the first down before Evan Williams brings him down to the ground.
Well, working quickly, that's what Pulaski Academy is going to do, Wes. And, you know, the tempo for this offense, that's what makes them successful, is just keeping tempo throughout the ball game.
Busby all alone in the backfield. Looking to his right. Ball is tipped. It's up in the air. It's picked off. Greenwood has the first big play of the game. That's Josh Allen with the interception. The ball was tipped by a defensive lineman, and Allen picks it off.
Well, you know, we talked about don't turn over the football, and, you know, that one was just a tip football at the line of scrimmage, and you can't blame Kel Busby for that, but nice job by the defense, keeping your head on the swivel, knowing where the football is, and Allen comes in and gets the first turnover of the ball game.
A lot of times they teach that tackle, though, to go low, make that defensive end get to the ground so he can't get his hands up. Of course, that end got his hands up. They're going to go to the air. Houston throwing deep. He's got a receiver. Overthrows his receiver just by a hair. Greenwood going for the jugular early. Grant Carnes was the intended receiver.
Well, and you know, he had a step on the corner that time, and if the ball is placed where it is, that's a touchdown all the way just because of the nice move. He gave a little shoulder shrug at the line of scrimmage to get that space.
2nd and 10. Ball's at the Bruins 35 following the turnover. Houston looking to pass. Houston looking, has time, now scrambles. Picks up about 4 yards before he starts his slide. Bruins secondary did a really good job. I was looking back in the backfield, just not a whole lot there for Houston, so he took off and decided to run with it.
How about the offensive line for Greenwood? Doing a great job. Gave him time in the pocket just to sit there and examine the field. This is a big offensive line for Greenwood.
3rd and 5, fake the handoff, rolling right, has his receiver. It's caught at the 25, down to the 20, to the 15. That's a first down for Greenwood. Aiden Kennan on the reception.
Yeah, Kennan is going to be a guy you're going to call his name quite a bit out of the backfield or just really in those intermediate routes. When they need 4, 5, 6 yards, he's going to be a guy that they go to a lot.
Bulldogs with the ball at the 14. 1st and 10. Bruins bringing a little pressure. They pick it up. Receiver open. That's L.J. Robbins. Robbins inside the 5 to the 4. That's going to be close to a first down. Preston Spann on the tackle for the Bruins. Bulldogs get to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. They're going to stop play. They're going to look at this to see if it's a first down.
Well, they're looking all the way across the field. You know, you're looking through players and everything like that, and as they put the ball on the sideline, and either way they gave Greenwood the first down.
Robbins just stops short. Houston finds him. Easy throw, easy catch. They had the first down. 1st and goal from the 4. Handoff, up the middle, fighting, across. Is he in? Waiting for the signal. There it is, touchdown Bulldogs. Jake Glover gets in for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you know, and Glover's a guy, you know, he's run for 11. That's his 12th touchdown of the season. He ran for over 790 yards this year. And he's a guy that he's not just going to just wear you out with the running game, but and he's just going to be, you know, Mr. Efficient.
They switch running backs on us. They put in Braden Davis for that short yardage situation, and Davis gets the touchdown. Greenwood kicks the extra point. It is 7-0 following the turnover by the Bruins. So the Bulldogs strike first. What? Here we go, the energy.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun.
Poetry is something that exists beyond the page and also on the stage. And so I was so happy that they followed young poets, saw the value in it, and wanted to document it.
That's why everybody in the school tried to remain calm, but inside there was no inner calm.
Arkansas PBS is a seed that grows into a tree that branches out into fruit that can feed the world.
Greenwood strikes first. Bulldogs get a turnover, and they cash it in for 7 points. They lead Pulaski Academy 7-0. Just starting this game, Bruins one drive, turnover. Bulldogs one drive, touchdown. Now the Bruins getting ready to return this kick. And I got to say, PA's been successful on some kickoff returns this year. They've got some speed. McKinney's done a good job. Jordan's done a really good job. They've had some kickoff returns for a touchdown. So this is, I know, something Greenwood's been focusing on this week. Good high kick. That sends the returner down to about the 9-yard line. That's McKinney with it. And great coverage from the Bulldogs. Grant Carnes, the receiver, is there to push McKinney out of bounds. That's receiver on receiver.
Yeah, and, you know, what they're going to do is they're going to try to kick that thing as close to the sideline as they can so that you're going to have essentially like that extra defender that you're going to use to push him to the sidelines and not allow for him to get upfield and make a big play on you.
All right, Busby back out there. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Got Kenny Jordan in the backfield. Looks like Green was just daring them to run the ball. That middle seems wide open. Busby, quick out pass. He connects. Good completion. That's good for a first down. McKinney picks it up, takes it across the 30-yard line, down to the 32. Landon Nelms makes the tackle.
And you're right, Wes. So you look at the down linemen for Greenwood. They've got 1 down lineman, and they've got 2 guys standing up that were bunched into the formation. Really, they're selling out to the pass right now.
Look at the wide splits from the linebackers. That area is wide open right there in the middle. That's where Jordan was running afterwards to maybe try to pick up a easy catch, but it's McKinney instead on the outside. Isaiah Arrington makes the tackle. Short gain for Pulaski Academy.
Yeah, and you know if you're Greenwood what you're getting out of this Pulaski Academy offense. They're going to throw it. They're going to throw it a lot. And, you know, by that what you're seeing just a bunch of guys that are going to be able to go in and find a zone and defend the pass.
Jordan's going to run it this time. Jordan gets to the outside. He's got room to run across the 40. Makes a great cut to the 50 to midfield for Kenny Jordan. He picks up 13 on the play. Tackle is made by Brady Mackey.
And that's one thing that you're going to see when you sell out to the pass like that. It's going to allow for big chunk yards in the running game. And, you know, that's the second time so far that we've seen a big running play out of Pulaski Academy.
Bruins 1st and 10 from midfield. Jordan again. Jordan attacks the middle, keeps his feet moving, picks up 5. Good job from the Bruins line. Bruins on that previous play. I love that. I guess it would be the left tackle, the blindside tackle, the job that he did. Christian Rose on sealing it off. Busby in shotgun formation. Going to give it to Jordan again. Jordan up the middle. This time he is tackled and brought down after a 2-yard gain. A helmet flies off one of the Bruins. It was Jordan who lost his helmet.
And Kel Busby was asking for a penalty flag. He thought somebody grabbed his face mask and pulled it off. And, you know, interesting formation. So they stacked the receivers up on the top side, and Greenwood, rather than matching receivers, they put 4 guys in a diamond formation on the top side to defend the pass.
Tanner McCusker with the tackle for Greenwood. Busby all alone in the backfield. 3rd down, quick out pass to McKinney. McKinney needs to make a man miss. He does. McKinney down the sideline, out of bounds at the 34-yard line. He picks up the first down, move the sticks. Bruins on the move.
Boy, that is just not a fair matchup. You've got Isaiah Arrington for Greenwood going up against McKinney in the open field, and McKinney won that battle. As you see right here, he just put a move on him and gave him a stiff arm, and he was able to get the extra yardage.
And he had to get the first down, but good job from McKinney making the play. Handoff. Now got a new running back in there. That's Charlie Cotros, and Charlie in for Kenny Jordan, and Cotros picks up 12. They'll move the chains again.
You know, Cotros, he got 47 carries this year for Pulaski Academy, ran for a little over 350 yards. Doesn't get used a whole lot, but he's in kind of change of pace back.
Yeah, gives a little breather for Kenny Jordan. That's John Mark Charette going in motion. Busby's going to give it to Cotros again. Cotros right up the middle, and he's got 8 on first down. That middle, they're attacking that middle. If you'll take a look when they line back up, those Greenwood linebackers are split out wide. They only have 3 defenders, and those linebackers are trying to help in coverage, and they're just daring PA to run the ball up the middle. And you know what? Their PA says, okay, we see what you're doing. We'll run it up the middle. We don't have a problem with just taking small gains like that. Adam Thrash, the offensive coordinator. Cotros is going to do it again. Right up the middle, another first down inside the 10. Breaks the tackle. Cotros down to the 3. Got a little help from his offensive lineman, but Cotros coming in, providing a little spark for PA.
Well, I think it's also a scheme thing. Greenwood sees Cotros in there. They don't think they're going to give it to him 3 times in a row.
Jordan in now. Jordan wants the touchdown. Jordan up the middle. Jordan got the touchdown. PA responds. It is 6-7.
That's a great run by Kenny Jordan. As you know, he was able to hit the hole, and then he went off the right side and just gave that second effort to get into the end zone, and now makes it a 1-point game. And of course, Pulaski Academy, as we talked about, they go for 2 most every time.
Love what Adam Thrash, the offensive coordinator for PA, did on that drive.
Yeah.
He said, look, you're going to give it to us, we're going to take it. And that's what they did. They just ran it. They're going to try to run it on the 2-point conversion, but Greenwood made a little bit of an adjustment. That time they had more of a goal line defense and lined up across the line, stopped the 2-point conversion, and Kenny Jordan's thrown for a loss. No good, so it's 7-6, Greenwood with the lead.
Well, they took Busby out of the backfield and left Kenny Jordan all alone, and so they essentially go out the Wildcat and allow Kenny Jordan to take it, and Greenwood they were not fooled by any of it, and they essentially sent the house after Kenny Jordan.
Caleb Garner was in the backfield as soon as Kenny Jordan caught the ball.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And so, it's a 1-point game, but, you know, I would imagine we're going to see many more points from both these teams as this game goes on. We've got 6:47 left here in the first quarter, and it feels like you've almost played a half a game so far.
It's a ratio for the 2-point conversion. You want to stop more than half.
Yeah.
You know, if they get half, it's just like kicking an extra point every time. But if they get more than half, then they're going to add up those points a little bit. PA lining up for the onside kick. The Bruins have John Mark Charette kicking the onside kicks. Looks like he's aiming over there to that right side towards the PA bench. Greenwood loaded up over there with 6 players to try to recover this ball.
Well, you know, Pulaski Academy's got about 5 different types of onside kicks that they can run.
It's one of them. They fake it. They're coming back this way. Ball's on the ground. It's loose, and Greenwood gets it. That was close. He got it right at the 50-yard line. Number 11 for Greenwood jumps on top of it. That's L.J. Robbins, the receiver.
And you know, when Kevin Kelly was in charge of Pulaski Academy, I mean, I think that he probably had 10 or 12 different types of onside kicks, and Anthony Lucas has kept that playbook and institutes it for each game.
Houston runs with it, and Houston doesn't go anywhere because Preston Spann is there. Spann, the leading tackler for Pulaski Academy, 77 tackles on the season. He had 17.5 tackles for a loss. He didn't quite get a tackle for a loss there, but he did a good job of stuffing that play before Houston could go anywhere. 2nd and 8. Receiver in motion. That's L.J. Robbins. Houston fakes the handoff. He's looking over the middle and just overthrows his intended receiver. That was Aiden Kennan he was looking for. He kind of ran off of the umpire there in the middle. It's almost like using him as a screen.
Yeah.
Jumps up, just couldn't quite pull it in.
You know, the pick move is illegal in football unless you use the umpire.
3rd and 8. It's Robbins in motion again. Houston under pressure, scrambles left. He has room to run. Flag is down. This will probably come back. Probably a holding call. Houston slides down just short of the 40, and that would be short of the first down, but I think PA is going to want to take this holding call, push Greenwood back. Instead of 4th and 1, they're going to create a 3rd and about 18.
Yeah, I think they got the holding call on Ashton Stein, the offensive lineman, and he had a good chunk of shoulder pad from one of the defensive linemen.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. We will replay 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, and he just yanked him around by his shoulder pad, and that's going to back up Greenwood. And let's look right here. I mean, look down the right-hand side of your screen. It was actually, they're going to call that on 66, excuse me. And, yeah, he just took the Pulaski Academy, Peyton Adams, the defensive lineman, he just took him to the ground.
Big number 33 got tackled, so 3rd and 18. Houston to his right, back across the middle. He's got a wide open receiver, finds it. Tackle is made short of the 40. Tackle was made by Jet Smith, so it's going to be 4th and about 2.
Once again, middle of the field wide open, and it allowed for Hunter Houston just to see it and easily get it to the wide receiver to get a nice chunk of yards.
4th down play. Houston under pressure, but he gets it off and gets it completed to his receiver. That's a 1st down for Greenwood.
Hunt Harrison, the linebacker, coming in to make the stop, and quickly, boy, you see the chunk of yards Greenwood's able to get back in a very short amount of time.
Quick handoff to Glover. Glover picks up a couple of yards there. He's across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 6. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Houston quickly throws it out to the side, has his receiver, but it's knocked away. Good play by the Pulaski Academy defensive back, Walt Smiley. Walt has 8 passes broken up on the season and 3 interceptions. That time he got there close quickly, hit the receiver as he was trying to bring it in and force the incomplete pass.
Well, you know, he was playing about 5 yards off the play, and his closing speed that time to come in and knock the ball away was what was impressive. And as you talked about, he's been known this year for breaking up passes, and right there just did a great job on the receiver.
3rd and 6. Houston talking to his line. Now he's in the shotgun formation. Couple of receivers to his left. He sends Glover in motion, looking towards Glover. Fakes it, coming back to the left, trying to set up a screen. They got 2 linemen there. Big play for the Bulldogs. Knocked down at the 5 to the 1. 1st and goal for Greenwood. That's Grant Carnes. KJ Colin brings him down, but not until he picks up a 1st down and gets it 1st and goal.
Well, and you thought that tunnel screen was going to get torn up, but Greenwood right back at it.
Yep. They try a quick dive on 1st down. Nothing there. Bruins defensive line stuffed that. He couldn't even take off and try to jump over the pile. They were in the backfield. Actually lost a yard there. That's 2nd and goal from the 2. Houston hands it off over the right side. Into the end zone is Jake Glover. Glover scores the 2nd running touchdown for the Bulldogs. That's 13-6.
Yeah, and you know, they're making it look easy right now passing on this Pulaski Academy defense. And, you know, you got to give it up to Hunter Houston. He's been hanging out in the pocket, and, you know, the pressure's been coming from Pulaski Academy, but he stepped up and made an accurate throw every time.
Now for the extra point. Bulldogs trying to get to 14. Good snap. Good hold. It's good. 14-9 Greenwood. 4 minutes, 29 seconds to go in the first quarter. Let's go down the sideline and check in with Doria Kraft.
Hey, Wes. Very excited Greenwood sideline down here. Energy is super high. We talked about how Greenwood felt they had a really good opportunity to come in, sweep the series this year against Pulaski Academy. And it has been nothing but energy down here over on the Bulldogs sideline.
Thank you, Dorian. And you know what? I would, coming into this game, Wes, I was sitting here thinking, you know, both these teams have had success in state championship games. What would the atmosphere be like? And boy, the Pulaski Academy crowd has shown up in full force in this one. Greenwood, I mean, as normal, they brought a whole bunch of folks down from Northwest Arkansas. So we got probably one of the bigger crowds that we've had all weekend here at the stadium.
It's great atmosphere for a Saturday night. Not perfect weather. It's cold out there for the fans, and so for them to bundle up and come to War Memorial Stadium, it shows a lot of their love for the program. Kickoff, a little shorter this time. McKinney gets it at the 10. McKinney to the 20, 25. Forced out of bounds. mark him out of bounds right at the 30-yard line, maybe the 31. So that's where Kel Busby and Kenny Jordan and the crew will take over, trying to get back and maybe tie this thing up with a 2-point conversion.
Hey, you know, after Greenwood scored, you thought, you just kind of had that feel that Greenwood had a big lead, but you just look at the scoreboard and you get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, this thing's tied up.
Well, right now the only stop by defense was the tip ball for an interception. Each time the offense has had the ball, they've scored. Busby with Jordan in the backfield. He fakes it to him, trying to set up the screen. He gets it to Jordan. Jordan with 2 blockers. Jordan still going 40, 45, moves his feet, falls down at the 49. So that's a pickup of 18 on the play. Good play by Pulaski Academy on first down.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Busby, holding in there, setting up the screen play. He looked like it was going to be a middle screen, and then Jordan comes out of the backfield and is able to get a big gainer out of it.
Busby with Jordan to his right. He rolls to his right. Busby looking deep down the field. He's got a receiver there, and he connects. What a pass, what a grab, inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. The Bruins, Will Hawkins makes the catch. Hawkins playing with a broken hand, RJ.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a cast on his hand for much of the season. He's lost the cast for this game. He goes up, makes the grab. The senior gets the Bruins to the 11.
And I can't tell you how hard of a throw that is, rolling out and throwing on the run, throwing a dart on the run.
Jordan inside the 10 to the 6. They'll mark him down. Gain of about 5 on first down.
Look, there's a reason why Kel Busby has thrown for over 3,700 yards this year. It's not just he's dinking and dunking and letting his receivers do the work. I mean, the throws that he's made so far in the game, those are big-time throws on the run and downfield. They're not just lobs. He's throwing darts.
Second down from about the 6.5, 7-yard line. They can get to the 1 to get a first down. Handoff to Jordan. Jordan. Nothing there that time. I thought he was going to bounce it back outside, RJ, and come to the near sideline. He had some room to run, but he decided to hit that middle. That I'm sure they're preaching that, hey, the middle's wide open. Greenwood's giving it to us. Let's attack there. Let's attack there. That time Greenwood makes a tackle. No gain there on third down. This is a big area for Greenwood. They had a lot of success in Greenwood stopping PA inside the red zone. I know that's what they're thinking right here. Busby's going to keep it. He rushes right up the middle. Busby to the 1, stretches. He is knocked down short. They're going to mark him down short of the goal line. It could be enough for a first down. It's going to be very close, depend on the mark.
I would imagine, Wes, that you're going to see something similar to that on this down right here, because once again, the 3-down lineman for Greenwood, it's really allowing for the entire middle of the field and really a 3 to 4 yard gain every time.
It is first and goal. Busby's keeping it right up the middle. Busby is met and gets across for the touchdown. What a collision at the goal line. Busby ran into the Greenwood Bulldog defensive lineman coming crashing in, and he won that big battle with Brady Pettigrew. Bounces off of him, gets in for the score. Now PA will go for 2 to tie it up.
That is the 10th rushing touchdown of the year for Kel Busby.
Busby has Jordan to his left. Stack formation. Going to give it to Jordan. Jordan trying to plow into the end zone. It's close. They're going to say no. PA is now 0 for 2 on 2-point conversions.
Yeah, he got right down to the half-yard line. And Greenwood, give it up for them. You know, they've been playing the pass, but they're really stepping up. And when it matters the most, they're stopping the run for minimal gaining. And you got to like what they're doing.
Well, this is a huge part of the game. And Dorian, we were talking earlier, Greenwood has to stop these 2-point conversions.
Yeah, head coach Chris Young said that defending 2-point conversions is a crucial part of playing Pulaski Academy. It was a key part of practice this week. And he admitted that it's easy to hang your head for a few seconds after Pulaski Academy scores. And that's how the Bruins capitalize against a lot of their opponents. So the emphasis for Greenwood tonight, anytime they give up a touchdown, shake it right off and get right back and play that next snap. And they've done it twice already.
Well, not only do you have to bounce back, get right back up, stop the 2-point conversion, then you have to bounce up, get right back up, and try to get the onside kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's twofold. We talked about in our keys of the game, recover the onside kick and stop the 2-point conversion to be successful. They've done both so far in this game.
2 stops on the 2-point conversions, 1 recovered onside kick. Last time we saw PA kind of trick everybody, or try to trick everybody with the onside kick. John Mark Charette, he's going to kick it this time. Looking for the bounce. He gets the bounce. PA could not come down with it.
That time, Wes, for Pulaski Academy, Tyson McCarroll, he was standing right there at the 49-yard line waiting on the big hop to get it, but it just hopped a little too high and went out of bounds.
That's what you're looking for. You're wanting that big hop like that so one of your receivers can go up and catch it. And Tyson McCarroll is a tall receiver for PA. Here's a look at the replay. There's the big bounce right there, just off the fingertips of McCarroll.
Yeah, Pulaski Academy thought they got that one. McCarroll, I think, thought he had it with the one-hand grab.
So the Bulldogs take over at the 49. Houston out there. They lead by 2. Still have 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Quick out. It is caught, but not much there because KJ Colin is all over the receiver. Looked like a little tighter coverage that time, RJ, because we've seen a buffer between the corner and the wide receiver, but not on that play.
Well, Carnes is their best wide receiver that for Greenwood, and you can see the press coverage at the line of scrimmage. Now, the guys on the right side of the formation, they're playing a little bit farther off, but you can see they're not allowing for Carnes to really get much space early on.
Fake the handoff. Houston looking to throw. He's looking over the middle. Nothing there. Now he's going to scramble. He heads towards the sideline, breaks one tackle, gets out of bounds, picks up the first down, so they will move the chains. Romello Bell knocks him out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 39-yard line. Bruins defense trying to get their first stop of the game. Greenwood's had it twice and scored twice. 3 receivers go in motion. That's Robbins, one of them. Aiden Kennan looking their way. Now he comes back to the left. He's got his running back, Jake Glover. Glover's got plenty of running room, and he's in for the touchdown. That was just a great designed play. It looked like they were going to the right. They come back to the left, toss it, a little screen, and basically Glover walks in.
Well, and give it up to the receivers and the offensive linemen that were out there blocking. They sealed it up to give him a running lane, and it was just easy picking all the way to the house. And you know, it's easy when those tunnel screens work when you've got good blocking. And once again, Greenwood on the scoreboard.
Extra point, good snap, kick is up, and it's good. So Greenwood takes a 21-12 lead. It's now a 2-possession lead because of the failed extra points or failed 2-point conversions for PA.
Well, Wes, you know how we talked about in week 9 between these two teams, everybody thought the scoreboard was going to run out of numbers, right? We're getting that here in the state championship game, and we're still in the first quarter, and so far 33 points have been scored.
Greenwood's on pace to score 84.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty impressive. We've got 1:40 left here in the quarter, and it has been back and forth so far.
Bruins send 2 receivers back to return this kickoff. And one thing we know about the Bruins, they can score, and they've been behind before, and that's one of the reasons they play these non-conference games that they play, because they like to be tested.
Yeah.
And they're getting tested tonight by this Greenwood team.
Well, and for Greenwood, you know, the 2 losses that they had this year, one was to Stillwater, Oklahoma, and the other one was to Little Rock Christian.
Last week of the season.
Yeah.
McKinney again attacking that right side. McKinney gets out to about the 30. They'll mark him out of bounds, and the Bruins will take over. It looks like at about the 29.
You know, outside of the interception by Busby earlier in the game, I mean, really neither one of these teams have been stopped so far. I mean, that was, I go back to that Busby interception. It was a tip pass that caused interception. It's not like he just threw it to somebody. And you know, this has been a track meet so far in this one.
The Bruins are 2 for 2 on 3rd down. They haven't had to try a 4th down yet. Greenwood is 2 for 3 on 3rd down, and they converted their only 4th down.
Yeah.
Busby looking over at the sideline. He's getting the sign in from Coach Thrash. He's got Kenny Jordan to his left. 3 receivers to his right. They're going to attack the middle again. He breaks the tackle. Kenny Jordan moves the ball across the 35 to about the 36. give him 7 yards on first down.
You know, I was sitting here thinking, Wes, with all the state championships you and I have called, I don't, you know, I remember Greenwood being on the home sidelines before, but I don't remember a game where Pulaski Academy has used that visitor sideline and that visitor locker room for a state championship game.
As many times as they've been here, I'm sure they've been on that side. It does seem strange. Give it to Jordan again. Jordan had a big hole. Jordan up the middle. Jordan across the 50 to the 40, 35, fighting off the tackler. Jordan finally brought down at the 31. Kenny Jordan having a great first quarter for the Bruins. He had 55 yards before that carry. And give him, what, 14, 20, 34. He's going to be close to 90 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, and right there, now look at the power struggle. You've got Tully Gilden, or excuse me, not Tully Gilden. You've got Landon Nelms.
Busby quickly. They're moving the ball fast. Busby finds his receiver. That's McKinney. McKinney inside the 20. They're close to the red zone.
You can't hardly get a word in right now, Wes. It's going so fast.
It's like a basketball game. You know, when you get one of those fast-paced basketball games, the color guy is almost unnecessary because there's no time to do anything.
I'll go get his coffee. You need anything?
I got about a quarter cup left. But at the pace of this game, I may need some coffee later on. Busby has Jordan to his left. He's going to give it to Jordan again. Jordan up the middle, breaks through, and he's at the 10 to the 6-yard line. How patient was he on that run?
I mean, that was incredible. He's going to have 100 yards rushing in the first quarter.
He had 88 before that run. He picked up a first down, so he's right at 100. He's got to be tired.
Either that or he's amped up, and he's just ready for the second quarter.
Busby, they're going to give it to him again. He's to the 5.
But once again, Wes, I mean, Greenwood is allowing for that because they're playing the pass. The defense right now is set up to defend the pass by they've got 3 down linemen that are spread way out. The linebackers are playing off, and the corners are waiting on that slant pattern.
By the way, Kenny Jordan's over 100 yards rushing in the first quarter. But PA trails 21-12 because Hunter Houston's thrown for 122 yards. It's Greenwood 21, Pulaski Academy 12. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, Pulaski Academy knocking on the door. Let's head down the sideline and check in with Dorian Kraft.
Running back Kenny Jordan is a quiet guy that makes a lot of noise with his play. Head coach Anthony Lucas said the coaches caught glimpses of the player Jordan could be last year playing in spots for Joe Hyman. Go, Will. Jordan is a slippery guy, can get between the tackles, keeps his feet moving like we saw there on that last run, and Lucas saw that the bigger the stage, the brighter the lights, the better that Kenny Jordan plays, and he's playing big tonight, guys.
Kenny Jordan with 104 yards rushing in the first quarter. That's Will Hawkins, gets the ball down to the 1. Got Charlie Contros in the game right now, but Busby's going to keep it, and Busby's going to score. Busby puts his head down, and PA back on the board. Their 3rd touchdown of the game. It's 21-18.
And Busby's now, what's he got, 2 on the game?
That's his 2nd touchdown.
Yeah, so he's got 11 rushing touchdowns on the season now.
Kenny Jordan with the 3-yard run. Cale Busby with a 1-yard touchdown run, and now another 1-yard touchdown run for Cale Busby. So it's PA getting it done on the ground. Although you look at the numbers, and we'll talk about the numbers after this 2-point conversion attempt. Busby with it. He's rolling to his right, looking to his right. Now back to his left, pointing. Has the receiver, but he's overthrown. He was looking for John Mark Charette. John Mark's a big receiver, but he could not pull it in. Busby incomplete. So PA is 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions.
And here's the thing. That's what makes Busby good. Look at this throw. First off, that's a great throw, but he looked down the defensive players. He looked right and just held his position, and then at the very last moment came back across the middle of the field to find his wide-open receiver and just overthrew it a little bit.
That was the first pass from Cale Busby that wasn't caught.
Yeah.
He was 7 of 8. Now, the one incompletion was the tip ball that Greenwood took back.
And that technically was caught.
He has been on target.
Yeah.
You think about it. He has been throwing the ball very well. Jalen McKinney, 5 catches for 44 yards for Greenwood. Grant Carnes leads the way with 2 catches. Hunter Houston was 7 of 10 in the first quarter for 122 yards. PA is racking up a lot more yards because Greenwood always has a shorter field to go with after the onside kick recoveries. PA's been usually taking over about the 30 after the kickoff returns from McKinney. So they've had 70 yards to go down the field 3 times. So their yards are starting to rack up. But the scoreboard shows Greenwood up by 3, 21-18. The only stop in the game was that interception. Onside kick is recovered easily by Greenwood. They want to do something with it, and they got a chance to do something with it. There is room to run down the sideline. Finally pushed out of bounds as Grant Carnes, the receiver, catches it, and he was thinking much more than just recovering the onside kick.
Well, that went a little bit deeper than what they're used to, that being Pulaski Academy. They like to keep that thing right there at that line of scrimmage, and it went deep, and so it allowed for Carnes to get a little running room, and they set up the convoy on that outside to make the corner, and now Greenwood's got really good field position.
Yeah, John Mark Charette actually pushed him out of bounds. So Greenwood at the 33-yard line. Pass across the middle, caught in stride, brought down by the Bruins.
Yeah,
that Jet Smith on the tackle.
Yeah.
Jet brings him down, but they pick up 8 on first down. That was a good throw from Hunter Houston. Hit the receiver right in stride as he was cutting across the middle. 2nd and 2. Houston's going to keep it. The play is blown dead. I think that we had some movement before the play.
Boy, that was really, they're going to say false start, but boy, that was a really, really late whistle.
Late.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Hey, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to blame the late whistle on it being cold. He just kind of got frozen, and so he couldn't find the flag there. I'm telling you what, I'm just different, but I respect everybody standing out there right now because I do not do the cold.
Penalty pushes Greenwood back to the 30. It's 2nd and 7. PA jumps. Greenwood gets the 5 yards back.
Yeah, and jumping for Pulaski Academy, that was Peyton Adams.
Encroachment gets the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That was just a hard count. Everybody on Greenwood's offensive line knew what was about to come, and the quarterback gave him a little hard count, shoulder shrug, and that got Adams to jump. So back to 2nd and 2. Houston has 2 backs with him. There goes L.J. Robbins in motion. Houston's going to give it to Glover. Glover gets the first down. Glover keeps his feet moving. Thrown to the ground violently by the Pulaski Academy defender. That's Hunt Harrison. Hunt just picked him up and threw him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this entire weekend, we've seen some big-time hits and collisions throughout all the classifications, and it's, you know, I enjoy seeing the defense.
1st and 10. Robbins was in motion. He looks. Ball was, I thought, tipped, maybe partially tipped, but Hunt Harrison's there for another tackle. They'll get the ball to inside the 15. They'll mark it right about the 14. Pickup of 8. Greenwood back over the ball. They're hurrying. They give it to Glover. Glover keeps his feet moving. He picks up the first down. Ball's down at the 8-yard line. Looked like he was going to be tackled for a very small gain, but he broke a tackle and kept his feet moving.
Well, Glover is a good-looking back. And you know what's impressive to me is that, you know, he's going against a 4-man front against Pulaski Academy, and they're still able to run.
Houston with Glover to his left. Gives it to Glover. This time Hunt Harrison's there. He can't quite wrap him up, but he held him long enough for his teammates to come in and bring him down. No gain that time. They may have lost a yard.
Yeah,
or 3. They're going to mark him all the way back to the 11.
And that's a great job by Pulaski Academy. They shot the gaps, and they sold out to the run that time. And I would imagine you're going to see right now Greenwood's going to come back with those slants.
Yeah, Hunt Harrison fired in there, wrapped him up, and then Romello Bell finished him off. 2nd and 11. Looking to pass. Across the middle, has a receiver. Good catch at the 1. PA wraps him up, pushes him back, but they're going to mark him down about the 1 yard line. That was Grant Carnes, and they're quickly going to get up over the ball. It's 3rd and goal from about the 1, just outside the 1.
Grant Carnes is playing with half a shoe on right now.
They're going to hand it off, and Hunt Harrison does it again. He meets the running back as he's getting the handoff. Big play from Harrison. That's going to create 4th and goal. 4th and goal from about the 5. Look at Hunt on the replay. That time, it's a standoff. Glover was trying to push him away with the face mask. Hunt had a hold of the jersey, wasn't letting go. Big play coming up. 4th and goal from the 5. Bruins defense looking for their first stop of the day. Houston talking to his line.
Look at those linebackers, Wes. They're playing so far up.
Looks like the Bruins are going man-on-man, one-on-one coverage. Look like the linebackers are coming. They want to force some pressure. They got to call a timeout. The play clock hit 0, but the coaches were running on the field. They're going to give them the timeout, so no delay of game. Greenwood, timeout.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is a big play.
Huge play.
Because, you know, you're going to keep pace if you score this football. And so right now it's punch, counter punch, and Greenwood's been the aggressor so far. And if you don't get this right now, you give the shot to Pulaski Academy to try to go down and try to take the lead with a touchdown. So this 4th down is a big deal. If you don't kick the field goal and you're going for the touchdown.
For those who watched the Greenwood Pulaski Academy game earlier this season, this was the difference in the game. The defenses got stops down in the red zone, both defenses, and that was the difference in the game. That's why it did not become that high-scoring game. The defenses stepped up at the most opportune times and made some very big plays, just like you saw there with Hunt Harrison. That was a big-time play. Now, the Bruins need one more stop, or the Bulldogs get back in the end zone and increase their lead.
Well, you're going to have a tight formation for Greenwood this time. And those linebackers are playing right at the line of scrimmage.
Now they're going to spread things out. They send Robbins out. They send Kennan out. Rolling right. Looking. Throws it in the corner of the end zone. Well covered. Incomplete. The Bruins defense gets a stop.
Yeah, and I mean, watch it right here, but I mean, I thought the ball partially got deflected.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. That was a great play that time by Jet Smith. Jet got a fingertip on it and knocked it away. I thought he had thrown the perfect pass and it was going to be caught. And you could not tell, you know, we're way up. That's a far corner of the end zone from us. And I thought then, well, maybe he just dropped it. Nope, Jet Smith, fantastic play. 1st and goal, or 1st down for the Bruins at the 5. They have 95 yards to go. Going to hand it off. Something we've seen a lot of. Kenny Jordan, he picks up 5. He was trying to bounce it outside. If he got out there was a lot of room to run. Bruins fans have seen Kenny Jordan with some long runs, like 95-yard runs. This wouldn't be nothing different. But the shirt tail, they got him by the shirt tail and able to slow him down. First down gain of 5 yards. They're going to give it to Jordan again. Jordan over the right side. He's got a 1st down and more. Jordan across the 20 before he slips. Down to the 22-yard line.
And Wes, I just don't understand what Greenwood's doing defensively. You know, they've got these 3 down linemen that are spread out. The linebackers are cheating into the middle, so now you're trying to defend the middle of the field, and it allows for Jordan to break it outside and pick up gains.
Busby, quick pass out to McKinney. McKinney's got a block from John Mark Charette. McKinney's still on his feet. He gets to the 29-yard line.
And I understand that Greenwood's, you know, they're wanting to defend the pass because that's what Pulaski Academy does a lot. But right now, Pulaski Academy sees it and they're saying, hey, look, if you're going to give us the run, we're going to just bounce it outside with Jordan, or if you let the middle open, we're going to run it back up the middle on you.
PA being very patient. They'll take the run. Jordan goes in motion. Busby's going to run it this time. Busby breaks through the line, slides down. He's still hit. Not much of a hit. And so sometimes you see that quarterback slide and then he's hit. That flag comes flying. But they're just going to move the chains. They'll play on. First down for the Bruins. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Bruins trail by 3. Busby all alone in the backfield. He's got 2 receivers to his left. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Busby looking to pass. He's wanting to go deep. He's going to throw it deep. Busby has his receiver there. John Mark Charette, he catches it at the 25, gets down to the 21-yard line. That's just a big receiver going up and making a play.
And that's a great job because he had to come back to the football, and he was going up against Braden Skaggs that time, and Skaggs was thinking he was going to get an interception, and Charette just came over the top of him and got the reception.
I couldn't tell you how many times we've had a highlight like that on Fearless Friday of John Mark Charette just going up. Busby has all the trust in the world over him. He knows he's a big receiver. He knows he's going to fight for that ball. So if it's one-on-one, I'm going to give him a chance to go and win the play. Handoff. That time it's Charlie Cotros in there, and Cotros gets his legs taken out from him. What a textbook tackle that time by Greenwood's defense.
Here's the catch again, Wes, of by Charette. Look at that. I mean, all the time in the world to throw. Comes back right there. He comes back to the football and just goes up, and it goes over the top of Skaggs.
Brady Mackey, the tackle. There's a good look at Mackey. Mackey made the tackle on Charlie Cotros. Just goes in, wraps up his legs, and throws him back. Loss of 3, so it's 2nd and 13. Busby. He's got time. Now he's going to run. Busby up the middle, past the 20, down to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of about 8 or 9. They're going to say he's down at the 16. So they get some of that back that they lost on first down, but once again, the middle's just wide open. They had a spy there. They had one of the linebackers there, but Busby made a little move on him and was able to pick up some more yards. 3rd and 5. Busby's all alone. 4 receivers to his right. He's going to keep it. He's going to run with it. Goes off tackle. Busby makes one man miss, and he's close to the first down. He's going to be marked down at the 11. He needed to get to the 11. It's close. I can't tell from this angle. They'll have to eyeball it and see. Head officials going in. He's looking, and he says it's 4th down.
Yeah, it's about a half-yard shy. And, you know, that time for the Greenwood defense, as you said, they've got a linebacker that's spying Busby. But because of how far they were playing off, it's allowing Busby to get 5-6 yards every time he runs.
4th and about a foot. Busby all alone. I bet Busby takes it, goes up the middle. He fakes it. Trying to draw him offside, nothing there. So now he's looking over at the coaches. 7 seconds on the play clock. Looks like Greenwood linebackers are ready to come in. Busby keeps it. Busby's got the first down and more. Busby inside the 10 to the 8. They'll move the chains, stop the clock with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half.
I mean, there's nothing special about it. Busby gets it, and he either goes left or up the middle. And the linebackers are cheating up now. The closer to the end zone that they're getting, they've cheated up to play that run by Busby.
Kenny Jordan back in the backfield with him now. It's a tight formation. Give it to Jordan. He's going over the right side. He's got blocking and a room to run. Jordan to the goal line. Jordan is going to be marked down at the half-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of a run. He was dragging defenders to try to get in the end zone and got right down to the half-yard line.
I love how PA had that bunch formation and they just send him out wide. Use that speed, that power. He's right there. Oh, so close. All right, PA, well, they're going to stop play right here.
I think we're going to have a timeout.
Could we have a replay? We have a review. After I saw the replay right there, I was like, he may have scored. That was close.
Here's the challenge on that, though. So there's a camera right above the scoreboard that they're going to have an angle on. They've got 2 cameras up on the tower. Do you have an angle right there at the goal line to be able to see if he's in? That's the question, because you're going to have to have clear evidence that he was able to get in the end zone. Now, I think that, and we'd have to see it. I don't know if we would have access to it, but that camera on top of the scoreboard is the one that you're going to kind of look right there on top of it. And we haven't had too many reviews so far. Here's a good look right here.
Got to have clear evidence it's a touchdown.
Boy, that's close if you look at it from that angle, but you can't see where the ball is.
Well,
that's
you
the
can't
problem.
see if it's a knee down, what hits the ground first, and when it does, where's the ball? He's down there, and where's the ball?
Yeah.
Here's another look. I don't see anything clear, and we've been told before, and we've told everyone watching, you have to have clear evidence.
Yeah.
Obvious.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah. Yeah, and the problem is you don't have
a goal line camera. We need a camera right down the goal line.
Or not even that, but if you had the advantage of a high camera from the end zone to be able to see that as well, those are the two things. But, hey, once again, it's high school football. The fact that we have replay in the first place is pretty awesome.
No, that's very nice. So 2nd and goal. The ball's at about the yard line. It's just a question, is Busby going to run it up the middle, or is it going to be Kenny Jordan? It's Jordan. He's up the middle, and he scores.
It's probably the easiest touchdown he's ever had.
Goes over that left side of the Pulaski Academy Bruins line. A good chance for me to give them a little love. Alan Thomason. He is a big left tackle, very smart. He's going to play college football, maybe Ivy League. I'm not sure if he's made a decision yet. Trevor Duke, the center. Corey Park in there. Shannon McDaniel. That offensive line paving the way as PA is now going to try an extra point.
Which you don't see this very often.
Well, they've kicked a little bit more this year. Extra point is up, and it's good. We've got a flag on the play, so let's see what that is. Walt Smiley has made 19 extra points this year. Now, the Bruins score a lot. It may seem like, oh, wow, that's a lot, 19 extra points. But when you score, I don't know how many total touchdowns they have this year. It's in our stats somewhere. That penalty's on Greenwood, and they're going over to Coach Lucas and ask him what he wants to do.
You got to think it's unsportsmanlike conduct that they would address at the kickoff. Probably don't need to get into assuming penalties.
A personal foul, roughing the snapper against Greenwood. Pulaski Academy is elected to have the penalty enforced on the ensuing kickoff. The try is good.
Roughing the snapper.
You don't see that? You don't see that?
I've never heard of that. Do we have a replay? Can we see what they did to the snapper? Because it had to be something to. I mean, when he's snapping you, there's something you can't do.
Well, when the snapper's got his head down, he's looking between his legs when he snaps that thing, and so you're not supposed to line up over the top of the snapper and make contact with him. So see, he's got his head between his legs, and they come and push him backwards. That's totally illegal. You can't do that.
You can't even hit the snapper.
You're not supposed to be able to rush the snapper like that.
I want to be the snapper if you can't hit him.
Yeah, because here's the deal. He's got his head between his legs, and so he's trying to get the ball off. We got to take a break. Okay.
You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Coming up at the half, we show you a heartwarming story about maybe the greatest fan in all of Arkansas.
Student all-stars from all the high school classifications.
And we'll have a look at a former NFL player coming back to coach in the Delta.
It's all coming up on the halftime show. See you then.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
You've spent years exploring Arkansas with us. Did you know Arkansas PBS is also here to help you explore your financial options to be more prepared for the future? Almost 2/3 of Americans don't have a will in place. Your thoughtful planning of a will or trust can help protect you and your family. It can also help guide the future of public television in Arkansas. Explore your options. Request a free estate planning booklet from Arkansas PBS today.
Pulaski Academy Bruins take their first lead of the game. It is 25-21. They're getting ready for the onside kick, and after the 15-yard penalty, PA will kick off at the Greenwood 45.
Wes, did you see that number on Kenny Draw? I'll show you here in just a second.
Greenwood recovers the onside kick, and they had a chance to break it. a shoestring tackle, or you're going to have a touchdown for Greenwood. That was Aiden Kennan who recovered it, and he took off running.
Look at this graphic, Wes. 129 rushing yards for Kenny Jordan. He's got 2 touchdowns. Greenwood as a team, they've got 26 team rushing yards.
Yeah, Greenwood hasn't ran the ball very much. In fact, Houston Hunters are leading rusher, 4 carries, 14 yards. Jake Glover, 6 carries, 8 yards. Braden Davis had that touchdown run, 1 carry, 4 yards. First down from the 50. Houston hands it off. They're going to try to run it. Nothing there. The Bruins defense did a good job. No gain on the play. They're going to actually say he lost a yard on the play. Bruins defense, Preston Spann stepping up, making the play in the backfield. Maybe that's why they don't run it much. Greenwood, 2nd and 11. Sends the receiver in motion. They fake it. They're coming back to the left side. We saw this play earlier, and it was a huge play. But this time, Grant Carnes just can't get going. The pursuit for the Bruins defense was excellent.
Yeah, that time on the tackle for Pulaski Academy, Romello Bell came in, and he sniffed out the screen all the way and just kind of stayed in that lane to find out who was coming in there.
3rd and 7. Bulldog fans weren't happy. They saw something they didn't like. They're booing. Bruins defense trying to get another stop. Back to pass. He's got under pressure. And I think it was tipped, or the pressure caused him to throw it way behind. It had to be tipped.
Yeah, well, Peyton Adams came in. He applied the pressure, and he gave him a hit as he was throwing it. I think it was partially tipped at the line of scrimmage, but a lot of it came because of Adams' pressure.
He shot through there like he was even untouched. He was on the quarterback so fast, Houston had to unload it. And I think it was tipped, and the Bruins get another stop. Greenwood's going to punt. 4th and 7 on the Bruin 47. There's only 2.5 minutes left in the quarter, so they want to make the Bruins have to drive. And it is a shank. Sky-high punt that went about 8 yards, got a good Greenwood bounce. It's still only going to go about 16 yards.
Yeah, 16
Bruins will
yards.
take over at the 33, 34-yard line.
Arkansas PBS has the perfect keepsake for the game. Download all the photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos.
All right, so the Bruins have 65 yards to go. Plenty of time for them, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Bunch formation. We saw this formation earlier, and they gave it to Kenny Jordan. He ran over the right side and picked up a lot of yards. They're going to try it again. That time, the Greenwood defense did a great job of sealing off the outside. Bryce Williams, the defensive lineman, kept Jordan from getting outside, and so Jordan had to try to cut it back up the middle, and the Bulldogs stopped it. Loss of 3 on the play, so it's 2nd and 13. Clock is ticking, under 2 minutes to go. No need to rush yet. Busby with it. 3 receivers to his left. He's going to give it to Kenny Jordan. They're going to try the right side again. Jordan out to about the 38-yard line. So Jordan gets back the yards they lost. Picked up 6. They'll bring up 3rd down. Bruins are being patient here. They don't give Greenwood any time just in case they can't get this 3rd down.
And look at the defense, how spread the middle of the field. They got a single safety standing at the 50-yard line. Now the middle of the field is wide open, but they do have 2 down linemen now on the defensive front.
They bring a linebacker in. Busby's rolling to his left. Now he's trying to find his receiver. It's just out of the reach. McKinney had it. I think McKinney may have dropped it. McKinney put his hands on his head like it was his fault. Coach Lucas looking at McKinney. He says something, probably like catch the ball.
Yeah, it hit off his hands that time, but you know that's a great job by the Greenwood defensive coordinator. Lining up the play and he let it all flow to that right side.
4th and 7. This is interesting because they don't get the first down. Greenwood has great field position. Busby rolling to his left. Busby throws it to John Mark Charette. He has the first down. What about the confidence there? 4th and 7. Crucial play. They still go. That's the PA way. They're going for it, but at times you would think, you know, in at the half here, just be safe, just punt the ball.
Yeah, man.
Nope, they're like, we're going to get the first down. We're going to move the chains. We're going to keep this drive going, and we're going to score and increase our lead before the end of the half.
Yeah, Pulaski Academy is going to call a timeout with 1:08 left here in the half. And I think what's more impressive was the receiver knew exactly where the marker was to get. He was right. I mean, he was a half yard past the sticks and was able to get the first down. And you talk about that trust, because the defense was really good. The pressure on the receiver was good, because immediately when he made the catch, he was knocked down. So it's not like it was a bad defense or anything. It's just you've got that receiver quarterback trust going on, and the knowledge of the receivers of where to be on the field in order to get that first down when it's fourth down.
And the timing of the play. I mean, the PAs probably ran that play 1,000 times just between Busby and John Mark Charette with 7-on-7 and different times. They've done that over and over and over, and that's why they do have that kind of confidence to run it on 4th and 7 at a crucial moment in the game. So Bruins have a new set of downs. 1st and 10, the ball's on the 46. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Bulldogs have moved their 2 linebackers up to the line of scrimmage like they're coming on a blitz. They drop back in coverage. Busby tried to set up the screen, just nothing there. They almost had the right play called.
There wasn't intentional grounding to say there wasn't a receiver. And
Kenny Jordan's right there.
He was at the line of scrimmage. I get it, and I understand why you wouldn't call it. That's why the officials are going to talk right now, and they are going to deem it was that Kenny Jordan was there, but he was a little bit farther away, but he was in the area. Yes.
2nd and 10, minute 5. Greenwood, their defense backing up a little bit. They don't want to get beat deep. John Mark Charette there. Lead blocker, Kenny Jordan. Nowhere to go that time. That's a couple of the offensive linemen and Busby talking to each other. Well, what happened here?
Well, that's a great job by the Greenwood defense. And coming in, that was William Savoboda. And, he just came in and made the stop.
Okay, 40 seconds left. 3rd and 12. PA's going to send 4 receivers to the right. Maybe one of those is Kenny Jordan. Maybe one of those, throw it to Jordan, get a little screen. PA's going to call a timeout right here. They want to talk about it real quick. Greenwood's fans are upset. They're booing. I think they're still mad about the intentional non-call for intentional grounding.
Well, I think that, and I believe they also thought on that last play when Vaboda came out with the ball, I think that they thought there should have been a strip fumble on that as well. And so
quick whistle. They were upset with the quick whistle.
Yeah, they thought that he blew it dead a little too soon. And in fact, the officials are going to come over and talk to Chris Young and talk to him about why they blew it dead. And you can tell the Greenwood fans are not happy right now.
Good crowd here tonight. A lot of fans from Greenwood made the trip to Central Arkansas. Of course, Bruins and a lot of fans from Little Rock come to this game because, this is a game people have been wanting to see for years because these are 2 teams year in and year out are at the top of the standings, whether it's 5A or 6A. And I think a lot of people, just high school football fans, have always thought, well, what if PA was playing in 6A? Would they still be that good? Could they still win championships? So I think there's that curiosity for fans to come out and see this game. And I think that's why you have the attendance like what we're seeing. 4 receivers to the right of Busby, 1 receiver to the left. It is 3rd and 12. Busby's looking to his right. He's got time to throw. He's looking deep over the middle. It goes up for McCarroll. The safety almost picked it off. It went through the safety's hands, and then I think it went through McCarroll's hands. I think the safety distracted McCarroll, and he didn't bring it in.
I'm surprised that wasn't intercepted. I mean, watch this right here. He set up, boom, and it just went right through his hands, and I don't think McCarroll was expecting that to happen. It was thrown behind him, but still, you have that safety up there kind of blocking the view of the ball, and it just kind of came on him pretty quick.
Yeah, and it was behind McCarroll. I don't know if he could have caught it. That safety may have actually touched it a little bit and deflected it, slowed it down a little bit. So it's 4th down. PA's going for it. 24 seconds to go. Busby with it, looking for the first down. He's got his receiver right at the sticks. It will depend on the mark. They're going to give him the first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains, move those chains.
Was that Kenny Jordan on the reception? Was that 2 or 5? Here's a look at the replay. It's a good throw from Busby, and he hits McKinney. McKinney in stride. PA will use their last timeout. 17 seconds to go in the half. So the Bruins have a first down right at the 43-yard line.
And he gave them a yard past the sticks. They marked it down at the 43.
And that's Pulaski Academy is going to call a timeout and has their 17 seconds remaining in this first half. But once again, Wes, you see a receiver. You've got 4th down and long, and a receiver that's going to have a crossing pattern right at the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that a lot of times you'll see receivers that may end up a yard shy of the sticks and they work their way back up, but they work it right at the sticks and know exactly what yard marker to get to.
That was an impressive throw from Busby.
Yeah.
He stepped into it and delivered it right to McKinney when he was making that move or making that cut. And McKinney's able to catch it in stride. And even though he was tackled immediately, he's able to fall forward and get that first down.
And the officials are still talking with Chris Young. That's why it's taking a little bit longer out of the timeout.
I don't think they're going to make him happy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to change their opinion either.
Nope. All right, Bruins have 17 seconds. Busby has 1 receiver to his left, 4 to his right. He's all alone in the backfield. Busby under pressure, heaves it up, throws it deep. It's a jump ball and it's picked off. Greenwood picks it off at the 15, to the 20, the 25, across the 30. Finally brought down by McCarroll. It's a ball loose. It seems like a little scramble. No, he still has the ball. Picked off by Greenwood. They stopped the Bruins drive. Bruins failed to score. And that time, Greenwood, with no time left on the clock, comes up with the big play.
Yeah, that's going to do it. And Dorian Kraft is going to catch up with Anthony Lucas. The officials I think they're trying to say there was more time on the clock. But now Greenwood's headed to the locker room.
Brady Mackey, by the way, came up with that interception. I've said Brady Mackey's name several times, and he came from that safety spot. He was reading Busby. He knew Busby wanted to go deep because there's not a whole lot of time, not a lot that they can do right there. He was reading the quarterback and stepped in there, picked off the pass, and so we will go to the half. Pulaski Academy leading at 25-21. Dorian Kraft has Coach Lucas, Lucas is still meeting with the team, but I see Dorian there at the goal line. We'll see if we can't, yep. And now she has Coach Lucas. Dorian.
Coach, your defense came up with a couple of key stops there. How did that 4th and 5 goal line stand change the momentum of the second quarter?
It was big for us. It was really big for our defense. Hung in there, and we thought we had what we knew they were going to run right there. So our defense stood up there and held them, and that was big for us, and it allowed us to come back down, offense to come back down and score. But we got to do a much better job on offense, though, in the second half. They get the ball coming back out, and we're going to have our defense ready to go. It's going to be a dogfight. Nobody said it was going to be easy.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Wes?
Thank you, Dorian. 25-21, Bruins lead it at the half. I tell you what, their offense was pretty good. They were stopped on the tip ball and then right there, and then they scored every other possession. Wow. Now, maybe what they're talking about is the 2-point conversions. Stick around. Halftime show coming up. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Since 1999, we've been with you every step of the way. From your first savings account to graduation to your first home. Centennial Bank is here to walk with you into the future. Though we've grown, Arkansas is still our home. We're still local bankers invested in our communities, here to help you however we can. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We'll be here when you need us. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Hey everybody, David Basil here. It is halftime again at War Memorial. That means we have a little more time to share with you some of the things we've been working on here at Arkansas PBS. Coming up, Ed Leon is going to catch you up on some of the really cool stuff going on here at Arkansas PBS. Then Ashley King is going to introduce you to some student athletes who are bringing it both on the field and in the classroom. And we'll visit with one of the coolest and nicest guys you could ever meet, superfan Kanan Sandy. But first, years ago, a young kid in the Delta went from the football field in Clarendon to the SEC and then to the NFL. Now his journey brings him back to the field where it all started, this time as a coach. Take a look.
When I came to Clarendon, I was like, there was like a great person that walked these halls and that actually had a chance to go to college from the offer here, and that was Cedric Houston.
You're a legend. Best running back come out of Clarendon.
That's actually what encouraged me to be a running back. It was said like he had the most rushing yards. He scored the most touchdowns. So it was like, so now that he's coaching me, I'm gonna try to beat his record.
When I heard like a legend like Cedric Houston from Clarendon High School, a small town, I actually jumped for joy. Why in the world is Cedric Houston coming back to Clarendon, Arkansas? It's a small town, and he was away from here.
My name is Cedric Houston. I'm from Clarendon, Arkansas. Growing up here was probably the funnest, man, just going out, and we didn't have much to do, but we walked around town, played pickup basketball or baseball, wherever we can do that, and picked up football around the 7th grade. I started playing, and a lot of people telling me I was pretty good, and I didn't know if I was good or not. We played Barton, I think I was an 8th grader, and Frank McClellan pulled me to the side after the game. I think he's like, "Kid, you're gonna play professional football one day." And hell, I didn't know professional football, NFL. I was like, "What you mean professional?" He's like, "You're gonna play in the NFL one day." So I kind of brushed it off. I was like, "I don't know, this old man don't know what he's talking about." And then he reminded me again, my senior season when they played us. He said, "You remember what I told you in 8th grade that you was gonna be playing pro ball one day?" He said, "You're getting a whole lot closer, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And we both smiled and walked off.
Handoff against Cedric Houston, running left. Houston.
Sophomore, junior, and senior year I started. So I started for 3 years at the University of Tennessee. I finished 5th on the Tennessee rushing list, so I was 5th all-time in Tennessee rushing history, which was a huge accomplishment. So during my senior year, I was always tired. Like after a few plays, I was like, "Coach, man, I'm tired." He's like, "What you tired for? You're in tip-top shape." I was like, "Man, I'm tired." And I mean, I didn't know what it was for or from. And after that, I got invited to the NFL Combine, and they did blood work on me there, and they found out I had a hyperthyroid. So before that, I had probably a draft grade to probably 2nd round. I'm probably gonna be a 2nd rounder, early 3rd rounder. Then after that, my agent was like, said, "I don't know who's gonna take a chance on you, who's gonna draft you, if you're getting drafted." So we didn't know after the Combine. We didn't know if I was getting drafted or not, and we didn't know how serious the thyroid condition was or what I had to do for it. They just took a chance on me, and I went 6th round to the New York Jets.
To me, I think he just wanted to come back to his hometown where he get his experience to other players so they can try to make it too.
He knows what it takes to get that, so I feel like it's a good advantage.
Coming up playing football and having great coaches through high school and then having great coaches through college made you be a better man. I knew I wanted to eventually get into coaching and influence some kids. Just being in this area and some guys not having father figures in their lives, you got these coaches around that's doing the right things and may not seem big, but that's huge for guys in this Delta area and just from these areas.
He's basically a good running back, but like a father figure to me.
He teach you right from wrong. If you ain't doing your work, he'll pull you to the side and tell you what to do and help you out.
1, 2, 3, when you get to know Cedric Houston, he's actually a good person. He knows how to do his job, you know what I'm saying? Keep smiles on everybody's face.
Take it off. Take it off. Look,
He's a good old person for Clarendon. Don't tell him I said that.
What a great story. Exciting things in the future there in Clarendon. Let's turn now to the student athlete with emphasis on the student part. Ashley, what do you have for us?
Thanks, David. Yes, once again this year we reached out to schools across the state of Arkansas to find out about those athletes who not only excel on the field, but in the classroom too. Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars class of 2022. We're going to start with our 8-man honoree, Jackson Martin. Jackson is a senior quarterback for the Woodline High School Bears. He has a 3.5 grade point average. He plans to attend college and become a coach or study to be a real estate agent. Out of 2A, let's meet Luke King. Luke is a senior quarterback and linebacker for the Hazen High School Hornets. He maintains a 4.0 grade point average and wants to play college football and ultimately become a dentist. Moving on to 3A, here's Sawyer Hoskins with the Melbourne High School Bearcats. This senior offensive and defensive linebacker is a 4-year starter who holds a 4.2 GPA. He also scored an amazing 33 on the ACT exam. He plans to become a pharmacist. Our 4A All-Star this year is Jalen Dupree. Jalen is a junior running back and linebacker for the Malvern High School Leopards. He has a 3.5 grade point average. Following high school, Jalen plans to play college football and major in physical therapy. Coming around to 5A, we have Tavion Haney of the Parkview High School Patriots. Tavion is a senior cornerback and has a 3.5 grade point average. He has received the Outstanding Academic Excellence Award and has won all-conference and all-state honors. He plans to continue playing football while seeking a degree in engineering or learning a trade. The 6A representative this season is Hayden Webb. The senior offensive lineman for the Greenwood High School Bulldogs maintains a 4.0 GPA and scored a perfect 36 on the ACT exam. He plans to attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville after graduation. And finally, we wrap up with our 7A All-Star, Abe Owen. Abe is the senior quarterback for the Cabot High School Panthers. He has a 4.0 GPA. After high school, he plans to go to college and medical school to become an orthopedic surgeon. Congratulations to all the honorees and way to go. We might see some of those faces again in April right here in this very studio for Quiz Bowl. Make a mental note to watch Quiz Bowl this year. Some of the sharpest high school students in the state meet up right here and square off not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks too. And it is live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now, Ed, speaking of what is on Arkansas PBS, there are some more things that you want to fill us in on, right?
I have a few things, Ashley. We've got a lot going on here at Arkansas PBS. You've seen a lot of football today, and we've got basketball state finals right around the corner in March, and then there's baseball and softball in May. And this year we added volleyball back in October. Now, why? Why is Arkansas PBS doing sports? Well, to us and to the student athletes and their families, it's a lot more than just sports. Take a look.
It's the final game of championship weekend here in Hot Springs. It's a sold-out crowd.
Here we go. Tip-off is set. Beck with a right hand. Tie ball game.
When you gonna wake up? Y'all gonna wake up when the season over?
That's swung on, lifted high to right field. He's going back to the warning track. It's out of here.
I can kind of look at people and tell that they doubt me. You know, you can kind of see their entire expression kind of change right when you make it.
The sun is setting in Saline County, and we've got 4A baseball. A title's on the line. Rester gives it off. Right side. The 10, 5, walk the dog, touchdown.
It's just so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
The set. Tapped over, and the Big Panthers are the 2022 state champions.
You know, we are your Arkansas PBS. These sports broadcasts give us a lens through which we can tell stories of inspiration, stories of determination, your stories, Arkansas stories. Take a look.
An Arkansas adventure like never before.
To be a sustainable farm, you have to make investments for the future.
And I hope they found a lot of good stuff. I hope they feel love.
and I'm gonna change.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Country.
I was known on the West Coast as the Arkansas Wild Man.
Amazing creators and entrepreneurs dig into their inspiration and see how they let it shine into the world.
Got some microphones here. You gonna do a little song for us?
Oh, the coat of many colors.
Which one? You pick. You pick.
In my coat of many colors.
But in its own right, a beautiful form of art.
We gotta teach the new guys, or this ain't gonna be around much longer.
There is something on Arkansas PBS for every person in our natural state. It's our mission to ensure that, and we want to let you know how you can join our family. Scan that QR code on your screen. If you're enjoying these high school championship games, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, or quiz bowl, and then sign up and become part of our team. That QR code will take you where you need to go. And sign up, and we'll get updates to you and let you know what's coming up so you don't miss a thing. All right, I think we've got time for one more story. Baz?
Yes, we do, Ed. Matter of fact, this story is very close to my heart. Canaan Sandy has risen from humble beginnings in the small Arkansas town of Cave City to be named to the ESPN's Fan Hall of Fame. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the 50-yard line. Canaan wants to lead us in a hog call tonight, so please join me as we call the Hogs with the Hogs' #1 fan, Canaan Sandy.
3, 2, 1. Who is Canaan Sandy?
Blue Pixie, race it back. The Hog!
Canaan, he's just a champion.
It's 100 miles an hour wherever he is, you know.
His enthusiasm is contagious.
Canaan's personality is way bigger than Canaan.
That's just Canaan. You meet him one time and you know him the rest of your life.
Arkansas is all about the Razorbacks. There's nothing else.
If you're in Arkansas and you're a sports fan, you're for the Razorbacks.
Hey, say, raise that back!
When he was 3 months old, took him to the Razorback game. 3 weeks later, he had to have open heart surgery.
There's probably not any illness or birth defect that he didn't have to conquer it one way or another.
He was born with VSD in his heart. He was born with an intestinal blockage, and he was born deaf. They gave us no hope that we were going to get to keep him. They all fought for him just like he was going to be a superstar one day.
This is my room. I got a big helmet, Arkansas helmet right here. It's my favorite helmet all time.
This is a copy of the picture that is in ESPN courtyard in Bristol, Connecticut.
The ESPN Hall of Fame, hey, we weren't surprised at all.
As soon as they come out with a fan Hall of Fame, what bigger fan is there than Canaan Sandy of the Arkansas Razorbacks? Good, bad, ugly, it didn't matter. He's always there, always cheering.
I love the Hall of Famer, and it's an honor.
The two most famous people in Cave City are Ricky Medlock, who played for the Razorbacks, and then even more famous is Canaan Sandy.
They had called us and said, we want Canaan we're going to do a 2-point conversion, and Canaan's going to run the ball in. Everything, we're standing on the sideline, all of a sudden the news crews start running, and they go, what's going on? And they said, Coach Bielema has decided he wants a 50-yard touchdown with Canaan. What? They go running down the field, and the only thing I hear is one of the SIDs give Canaan the ball, and they shove it in his hand, and they said, don't you dare drop this ball in front of 30,000 people. That's good. All right.
Let's get this.
Let's do it.
I love this.
That's him putting Canaan in an ambulance when the Gulf the dreaded gallstone thing. He called me, he said, Mom, I don't feel good. And he was in the bathroom, and I said, well, let's get to the couch. And I got him to the couch. Oh, he quit breathing. He just turned completely blue. He fell over on the couch, and his eyes just fixed, and I just panicked.
I think it really resonated to her that, you know, how fragile his health was. They've just been everything to each other, and they had fought for each other in so many ways.
And we went through rehab and things, so we probably got back what we're going to get back, but it's good enough. Woo! Hey, Zoe! Kanan always followed all the commits. And it was like one week we said, hey, so-and-so is playing Friday night at a football game. Let's go and watch him play.
He wants to see those guys come be a Razorback. And I promise you that has made an impact. And I mean, that's special. I don't know anybody else that does that in the country.
He's back in full force. He sure is.
Welcome, Mr. Kanan Sandy.
He's loved. You know, Kanan loves people, and we love Kanan.
He's the most honest, outgoing, loving person I guess I've ever seen.
He impacts so many people's lives. It's a great example of what one person can do.
Get up! Hey, say!
He can bring so much joy to the people across the state of Arkansas I mean, it's immeasurable what that means.
Hey, say!
Kanan is the product of other people's love.
Hey, say! Take that back!
People of Arkansas have retaliated with their love, and they're the ones that have made Kanan famous. Kanan didn't do it. I didn't do it. They made Kanan famous because they just poured their love into him. It's because they're so good, and they've just opened their hearts to him.
It is amazing to me how much traveling that Ginger and Kanan and Sandy do, in-state and out-of-state.
That's right. They go watch recruits in high school games. Of course, all of the Razorback games. It's incredible.
Yeah, what a great story, by the way. It's like more than a sports story. That's a human story. Those are great people.
Yeah, Kanan's got the biggest heart, and the world needs a lot more Kanan Sandys for sure. Well, that's it for us on the Halftime Show. Thanks for watching.
Now let's send you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half action.
Right here on the home of the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
We're back at War Memorial Stadium getting ready for the second half of the 6A championship game between Greenwood and Pulaski Academy. A fun battle in the first half. Greenwood, first possession for PA, tips the pass, intercepts Kel Busby's pass. They go down and score. And then it was kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the Bruins got a goal line stand, a stop on fourth down. They march down, score. They had two scores in a row. They lead it 25-21.
Yeah, and you know, it was really all Greenwood there in the first quarter. I mean, they were dominating, and you thought the momentum after the Busby interception was going to really switch to Greenwood's side. But Pulaski Academy just kept doing what they do. You know, they missed two-point conversion after two-point conversion and really just stayed with what they did. And you saw the defense start picking up, and they got better as the game went on. And so I'll be interested to hear what Chris Young has to say.
Let's head down the sideline. Dorian Kraft has Greenwood's coach.
Just that final drive and the interception to catapult momentum into the second half.
Well, it gives them something to build off of. You know, our defense has been so strong all year, and Pulaski Academy is so talented, you got to cover the whole field. But I think our guys will come out and play better in the second half. I think that gave them something good to lean on at halftime, and our coaches made some adjustments right there. So I expect our defense to come out and play better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
The adjustment I wonder if they make is going to be the adjustment of those linebackers.
Yeah.
Because as we talked about so often, when Pulaski Academy had the ball, they had 3 down linemen, Greenwood did. They had 2 linebackers, and they had their linebackers out wide, almost they were past the widest defensive lineman, and that was just inviting PA to run up the middle, and that's what they did. Kenny Jordan had 19 carries, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Cale Busby ran the ball 7 times for 30 yards. So PA combined to run it for 100. And then you throw in Charlie Cotros. They ran the ball for over 170 yards in the first half.
Well, and I was talking with a high school coach up here in the press box, and I said, for as good as this defense for Greenwood is, why are they leaving the middle of the field open? Why are they spreading their defensive linemen out? And, what he thinks that Chris Young and his staff were thinking that Pulaski Academy was really going to hit them hard with the passing game. A lot of slant patterns, a lot of crossing routes, and so they were prepared. They weren't going to get beat by Busby's arm, and so they prepared for that. What they didn't prepare for is the running game and how good Kenny Jordan has been here in the first half.
Busby completed 12 of 17 passes for 178 yards, so he still got his yards. There were 2 interceptions. One was the interception that was tipped. The other one was there at the end of the half where he was trying to go deep. Here's a couple of the highlights from the first half. That's how Greenwood got on the board first. And then it was Cale Busby with a short touchdown run. And then the Greenwood Bulldogs hit him with a little screen, and they jump back out on top. And then Kenny Jordan with the short touchdown run. And PA is right there. It was the 2-point conversions, the failure to make those 2-point conversions. That's a big catch from John Mark Charette that moved the ball, flipped the field for Pulaski Academy. There's a replay of the interception at the end of the half. There were, about 10 seconds left on that play. So Pulaski Academy was just looking for the big play, heaved it deep, and Greenwood picked it off. That's a look at the first half numbers, and PA 355 total yards.
And here's the thing, that is totally misconceiving because of the fact that PA does so many onside kicks that you're starting with a short field for Greenwood, and so the opportunity to get the yards is just not there. But I mean, you look at it right here. The interceptions, and really, I think the biggest thing for me is the rushing yards. You've got 177 for Pulaski Academy and only 25 for Greenwood. Even though you're in a short field, the lack of a running game that Greenwood's shown so far, I think that's really kind of the difference in the ballgame.
To me, it's 4-3. PA scored 4 touchdowns. Greenwood scored 3. PA has failed on 3 2-point conversions, and that's why they have 25 instead of 28 points or more points. But the Bruins will kick off, or they will try an onside kick. Greenwood is back. They have 1 deep returner, 10 players around the line of scrimmage. They kick off from the 40, so the ball has to get to the 50 before PA can recover it. They're showing a bunch formation right now. Bruins waiting for the whistle, and there they go. Now they'll spread out. They got 5 to the right, 5 to the left. They're going to kick it deep. Something you don't see often. Bruins kick it deep. Greenwood at the 20 to the 25. And the Bruins bring him down. 3 or 4 Bruins bring him down. And I wonder, they go to Greenwood. They didn't get a single onside kick.
Yeah.
They didn't get a single onside kick in the first half. They're giving Greenwood a short field. The defense is starting to play better. I wonder if they thought, you know what? Let's kick it deep, make them drive 75 yards, and see if our defense can't get a stop. Let's put a little faith in our defense on getting it done.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. They gave them a short field on every possession. We'll compare the quarterbacks here in a moment, but I mean, they were doing a great job of giving them that short field. They said, well, let's see what if they can go the length of the field.
Houston, the handoff to Glover. Glover picks up about 4 on first down.
Look at this comparison of the quarterback battles. I mean, you've got Cale Busby with 30 yards rushing. You got Hunter Houston with 14. Look at the completion percentages, both with a very high completion percentage and both passing the ball very well right now.
That's why these 2 teams are here. 2 good quarterbacks, and that's why we highlighted these 2 quarterbacks to start the game. Houston sends his receiver in motion. Houston looking to pass, short pass across the left side, completed for the first down. They'll mark him down at the 37.
And
they'll stop the clock and move the chains.
Both these teams, and you think about quarterback play over the years, I mean, both teams have great backups. You got Kane Archer, who's over at Greenwood. You know, both are in great situations to, if their starter goes down, they've still got a good backup at quarterback.
Brandon Cobb has played well for Pulaski Academy. Quick pass out to L.J. Robbins. Robbins moves the ball across the 40, down to the 41. Short gain on the play. They'll give him 4 yards, bring up 2nd and 6. First drive of the second half. Greenwood failed to score on their last 2 drives. PA's defense feeling good. Little pressure, gets rid of it, and gets it to Grant Carnes. Carnes breaks 1 tackle, gets the first down, trips up, moves the ball to midfield.
Yeah, just great job by Carnes. Carnes is by far their best wide receiver, and you know, he's a playmaker. He gets in space. He's going to find a way to get a first down, get that extra yardage to get up the field and drive his team to the end zone.
Carnes only a sophomore. Houston looking across the middle, throws across the middle. He's got his receiver open, tripped up inside the 30-yard line. Big gain for the Bulldogs. They move it from the 50 to the 27.
Well, right there, Jet Smith was on coverage. He fell down in the route, and that's why the receiver was so wide open to allow for the big gain.
Noah Chaser on that catch. Houston sends his receiver out. A little pressure, has to get rid of it. Gets rid of it quickly, and he finds Chaser again. Now there's a flag, or did it just fall out of his pocket?
I think it just fell out of his pocket. He, well, no, there's one here on the sideline, and was it a late hit out of bounds?
He didn't blow his whistle, so I think it fell out of his pocket.
It just fell out. And so, but what a great throw right there. I mean, he's under pressure, and he found the one guy that had a little bit of space to catch the football, and he got it to him.
Houston feeling it. Goes deep in the end zone. Corner route is there. He can't bring it in. L.J. Robbins had it, juggled it, could not bring it in.
I mean, that's a tough catch to make, you know, going over your shoulder to the back corner of the end zone. But he's probably made that catch, you know, 15 times this year.
Second and 10. What a good throw. Almost had it. That was a great route. He was open. Andrew Kennan going out to the left. 3 receivers to the left.
That's a great stat. 6 receivers with 15-plus receiving yards.
There's a bullet that just dropped. That was just a bullet to Carnes. Carnes was coming back for it. That's hard sometimes when you're coming back to the ball and he throws a laser at you, so you're running to it. Oh, it was tipped too, I think. It was kind of wobbling. I think somebody on that defense got their hand up and tipped it just a bit, and it started wobbling and made it difficult for Carnes to catch it. 3rd and 10. Bruins defense trying to get a stop. He's got time to throw, trying to set up the screen. The Bruins did a great job with reading that screen, and they come in and make the tackle.
Yeah, coming in right there, you know, it was a defensive lineman who actually came in and made the tackle, and that time for Greenwood on the reception. That was Jake Glover, who had to go sky high for it. Watch this. I mean, he had to go way up for it, and there was just no way to gain yards after the fact.
That's Miles Ward, the junior, making the tackle for PA. He comes back, makes the tackle. It's 4th and 9. Just a gain of 1 on that screen. Houston looking to his left, now looking across the middle. Now he's under pressure, and he's brought down. Romello Bell with the big play for the Bruins.
That is a huge play. And Houston, he was trying to step up in the pocket, and when he did, that actually gave the defender extra space to get his arms on him. And once he locked on, he wasn't letting go.
Romello Bell, 5 sacks on the year. That's his 6th. 8 tackles for a loss. And Bell gets a hold of him and slings him down. So the Bruins defense gets another stop. I think that's 3 in a row now.
It is.
They had the goal line stop, and they got another stop, forced the punt at the end of the half, and now the first drive of the second half. Bruins with the ball on their own 26. Busby to Jordan. Jordan's going to try the middle. Jordan stopped, pushed forward to about the 30.
And that time, Wes, you saw the linebackers cheat up a little bit, and you can tell there was a halftime adjustment that they're going to play a little bit closer to that line of scrimmage to not allow for the big chunk yards that Jordan's able to reel off, or that he did in the first half.
But now you got to stop the run. It's the second half. You're behind, and if you let them keep running the ball and just run the clock, it's going to be difficult. Bring John Mark Charette in motion. They're going to give it to Jordan again. He's got a couple of blockers. He's following the blockers. Jordan almost to the 40-yard line. He's got the first down. Just following his blockers. They pulled 2 of the linemen, and you can see it here.
And look at that job.
Shannon McDaniel. He was following big Shannon McDaniel, just right in his hip pocket.
You know those offensive linemen love to run block because they can get downfield a little bit.
3 receivers to the right. Bringing the safety up. Here comes Jordan. Attacking the middle again. Still fighting. Fights forward to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 6. I mean, if they're going to give them that, PA's just going to take 5, 6, 7 yards, keep the clock running. They don't have an issue with that.
Right now, averaging 6.9 yards per carry.
And he really hasn't broken a big one. 33 yards is his biggest one. I mean, that's a lot. But I'm used to seeing Kenny Jordan go for 80 on a play. That's the kind of talent and speed he has. They bring in Katros, I believe, that time. Yep, that was Charlie Katros with the run. Short gain. Moves it to just about the, they didn't give him anything.
They're going to have an official stoppage.
Somebody hurt? Is there somebody hurt we can't see in that huddle? Yeah. Here come the PA coaches and the staff, the trainer. We're blocked by the players. It looks like maybe John Mark Charette.
Yeah, that's who it is. He's down to one knee right now. And he's walking off under his own power. You like to see that, but
PA's already lost 1 receiver, I'm told, tonight. Will Hawkins, I have not seen him in the game tonight. That was number 10. But Will was hurt in the first half, and I was told he would not be back in the game. So that's a second receiver for PA. Here's a look at the replay.
And Charette, his head bounced off the back of the turf as he was getting pulled down. And I mean, and Dorian's going to go over there, I think, and check that one out and see if he's going to be okay.
4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Busby all alone in the backfield. Safety creeping up. Yep, Busby's just going to keep it. He's going to run forward, trying to get a push from the offensive line. Busby to about the 49-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4. That's close to the marker.
I think it'll be about a yard shy, Wes.
Look at that spot, though, RJ. That's a good spot. I think he's very close.
Yeah, I mean, and they're looking at it from across the field. Yeah, they're going to give him the first down. Yeah.
That's just a simple play. They spread out Greenwood, and you got Busby all alone. Look at him, and he just catches it, and as soon as he catches, takes off, put his shoulder down, then gets a push from his offensive line. He falls on the Greenwood defender, so he's not down until right there. I think that was a good spot. I thought it was generous until I saw he was on top of the defender, so he wasn't actually down. Looks like Greenwood's bringing some pressure. At some point, they're going to have to tighten that up and not give the middle. Kenny Jordan, nothing there. That time they did. They took it away. And look at Greenwood. They're fired up after that one, and they should. They've been giving up big run after big run after big run. You got to do something about it, and Evan Williams did something about it.
Well, and Wes, they haven't really shown a lot of pressure tonight. And you see right there that it's going to take away the run. They put 6 guys in the box at that time and really just sold out to it. I think you're going to need to see more of that to slow down this rushing attack of Pulaski Academy.
Busby back to throw. He's under pressure, scrambling, just buying time. He was trying to set up the screen, and he's got a receiver over there. You see McCarroll is right there. Well, they were trying to get it to Tyson McCarroll, trying to set up the screen, and he was standing on about the 40-yard line. They're talking about it.
And the line judge who usually calls that play, because he'll usually stand at the line of scrimmage.
They drop the flag.
And there it is, yeah.
Let's see the replay on this. Let's see how close in the vicinity is it. They gave it to PA one time, and I wonder if it's almost like, all right, we gave it to him once. So I don't know if everybody's booing us. We better call it this time.
So grounding against Pulaski Academy. The 5-yard penalty for the spot of the foul.
Huge penalty.
Brings up 3rd down.
Wes, the first time I agreed with it by giving it to him, I think this one was intentional grounding. So you see him drop back. There's not anybody within 15 yards. You can't really see where it is, but there's not anybody within.
There's McCarroll right there within 7 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you want?
Well, I get that.
It's vicinity. It's not, you got to throw it to him. You got to throw it in his area. That's 7 yards.
And I understand, but he was not even attempting to come back and make a play on it. That's my thought.
Well, it's not about the receiver making a play. Busby, all kinds of time to throw. He throws it behind the receiver and it's picked off. That one was going to McCarroll. He throws it behind McCarroll, and now it's ruled incomplete. It's incomplete, did not catch it. That was Josh Allen trying to bring it down. So to bring up 4th down and very long for the Bruins.
And they can, coaches challenge to replay it, or to review it. They can do that if they think that he caught the football, and everybody's looking up at the big board right now. And I'm telling you, Wes, I don't know if he caught it. I think the ground helped aid it at the very end. You see the backside. He had possession, and then
he got it. Yeah, he caught that. Now, did he jump? No, he dropped it there. Yeah, he had it. And NFL, I hate this. Yeah. He did not complete the catch. He had it at the beginning, but then lost it and it hit the ground. Here comes Greenwood coaches. They're wanting to challenge it. They didn't get it in time. And PA with the punt. Yes, you heard me right. PA with the punt, and it gets a great roll down to the 35-yard line. It was 4th and 35. I think that's you have to. But you don't
ever hear that. And here's a look from the front side on that interception. So he had it right there, and then as it was coming out, the ground aided him from pulling it in. So yeah, that was a good call by the officials.
Yep, they got it right. He almost made a great one-handed catch. I thought at the beginning he had it the first look, but then at the end it kind of bounced off the ground and he lost possession, then he fell out. So good job by the officials. They got that one right. 1st down and 10 for Greenwood. Ball at the 35. Bulldogs trying to take the lead. Houston, quick pass out in the flat. Has a receiver running in motion, and the Bruins drag him down, make a good play out there. Miles Ward again. Ward has been showing up here in the second half. Several good plays. A gain of about a foot. 2nd and 9. Greenwood sends 3 receivers to the left. Glover in the backfield with Houston. Got a flag, false start. That'll push Greenwood back 5 yards. 5:50 to go in this 3rd quarter.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Be 2nd down and 14. They'll push that ball back to the 31. Clock is ticking. Houston looking to pass, coming across the middle, throws it high. It is caught. It's caught by Carnes. Carnes gets the 5 yards back, so to bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and so now you're in a situation, you got a 3rd down and long for Greenwood, and you know that it's going to be a passing down. I mean, Greenwood's not run the ball very well, so you know if you're Pulaski Academy, you're going to play man on man at this time and try to prevent the 1st down. You got to have those heels right at the 45-yard line.
Robbins in motion, looking towards the right, looking across the middle. Now he's looking deep. He's looking for Robbins. Robbins has it go off his hands. Robbins had a step on the defender. Looked like that was Hunt Harrison back in coverage. Yeah, it was Hunt way back there in coverage. Great job from him. He plays a lot closer to the line of scrimmage, but that time it deep into coverage, and he is trailing the play. Houston puts that ball pretty much on the money, and Robbins just over his outstretched hands.
Boy, that's 2 big misses for Robbins. He had the one in the back corner of the end zone that he wasn't able to get in that time. That would have been a big 3rd down conversion.
Greenwood lining up to punt. They do punt it. PA does not ever send anyone back. They just content to get the ball and play from there. And there are occasions like this where I'm like, yeah, if you had somebody back, even a little deep, just all you got to is catch it, fall on it. Just don't let it roll for 20 yards. We'll take a break. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Hey, if you want a copy of tonight's broadcast, all you got to do is go to that web address, mmproductions.net, and get your DVD copy. Cherish the memory forever of the 6A championship. I want to thank M&M Productions for providing all the DVD copies of this 6A championship and all the championships throughout the weekend.
How about the defensive coordinators? They've made some adjustments in this game. We had a shootout in the first half, 46 points scored in the first half, and we're scoreless here in the third quarter. PA with the ball, first and goal first down from the 10. They pitch it out to Jordan. Jordan gets the first down. He's out of bounds. He was hit out of bounds, but I love how the Greenwood defense, he didn't mean to. I mean, he just kind of ran into each other, and he bumped into him, knocked him off balance, and he tried to catch him, and there's Brady Mackey. He's had a heck of a game, and just the sportsmanship they showed there, just trying to keep Jordan up from falling to the ground.
You know, one thing that's impressive is those outside tackles for Pulaski Academy, sealing off the edge and allowing for Jordan. Every time he gets out there, he turns on a second gear and is able to turn on the closing speed.
First and 14, nothing on the outside that time, and Jordan just scrambling back to the line of scrimmage. They were they did toss left, then they were going to do toss right. Nothing there that time. That Bulldog defense was all over it, so he cut it back and got tripped up and falls down right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Busby all alone in the backfield, rolls to his right, throws to his right. It's caught by McKinney. That time McKinney can't break the tackle and get up the field. He's tackled right away. That was Storm Sherry with the tackle. That was a good tackle by Storm. And McKinney, very small gain on the play. Picked up 3 or 4 yards.
Well, these two defenses really playing well here in the third quarter. Not a point's been scored here in the third quarter so far.
3rd and 6. Bruins trying to get a first down. Quick look right, nothing there. Looking, all kinds of time to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep, and he has a receiver running down the field, unable to complete it. That was Andrew Pfizer. Pfizer into the game because Will Hawkins was knocked out of the game, and I was told Hawkins will not be back. So Andrew Pfizer in. He tries to turn it up the field, make a one-handed catch. Goodness, the way the corner ran into him, he could have, and especially in front of that PA bench, you can see some of the PA assistants there yelling for a pass interference. They didn't get it.
I think, but the more impressive thing was the amount of time that Busby had. I mean, he sat back there and he pumped once, pumped again, and then kind of threw an off-balance throw because he didn't fully commit.
4th and 6, I think he's going to punt it. Yep, he does. He backs up, and PA punts for a 2nd time in this game. That ball is going to roll inside the 40 to the 35, 36-yard line. So PA, I got to talk to somebody from PA. When's the last time the Bruins had possessions end with back-to-back punts?
I mean, first off, apparently both coaches talked to the special teams coordinators and the defensive coordinators because we have had an uptick in defense and special teams so far in this game.
How about the respect there? That's mad respect that they'll back up Busby and punt the ball.
Look at this, 31 total offensive yards in the second quarter, 55 yards so far here in the third.
PA defense stepping up. I think that's 4 straight stops for the Bruins defense. Now they're going to try to run the ball. Nothing there. Hunter Houston took off with it. I mean, we've seen Kel Busby do it time after time after time. Yeah. And that time Houston tried to take a page out of the Bruins book, but nothing doing. Pick up 1. Jake Glover in the game now. Fake it to Glover. Houston's throwing right across the middle. He's got a receiver there. He was wide open. L.J. Robbins, great route, still on his feet across the 50. Finally taken down at the Bruin 49.
Well, that makes up for the 2 drops that he had so far in the game. You get a first down, a little bit of confidence on that crossing pattern.
Robbins ran a great route. Yeah. I mean, he went down, put his foot in the ground, cut it right across the middle, and he was wide open across the middle. Going to try a little reverse. Going to try to throw it. PA's back looking for it. Bad pass. They had a little pressure on the, they got it back to the quarterback? Who was throwing that?
I believe throwing it was Was it Braden Skaggs that threw it that time? No, it's actually Hunter Houston.
I thought it was
that threw it,
got it back. Couldn't get much on it. And it almost looked like the ball wasn't, he didn't have a good grip on the football, and it just kind of fluttered out there. The Bruins had it covered pretty good and just couldn't get to the ball to pick it off. And when the ball was in the air, I thought there was a chance for the Bruins to pick that off. 2nd and 10. Houston looking deep across the middle. He's got a receiver wide open. Just overthrows him a little bit.
I mean, just if you take a touch off of it, that's a touchdown all the way. And you get a little amped up. You see a receiver streaking down the middle of the field. He beats a double coverage, and you want to get it to him. You want to score, and he just put a little too much oomph on it.
That was Aiden Kennan. 64 catches on the year, 2 touchdowns, and man, when he broke open, he had to be thinking this has got a chance to be a touchdown here. 3rd and 10. Bulldogs at the Bruins 49. Bruins trying to get after him, put a little pressure, throws it short of the sticks. Tackle made right away to bring up 4th down. That tackle made quickly by Walt Smiley.
I don't think there's going to be much decision here.
Oh,
I think they're going to go for it here on 4th down, and it was about 3 yards. Well, they're going to say they moved it back to it's about 4 yards.
They got to get to inside the 39. There we go, throwing it outside. The pass is caught right around the 40. It's going to depend on the mark.
Well, I think he may be short. Wes, he's walking in at the 39-yard line. It all depends on where the spot is.
The spot down here, he is short. The spot where he's putting it's going to be close. Here, take a look at it. He catches it. Oh, he catches it just inside the 40. And hey, he's short. He was short on review, and he's short in real life. They've already looked and said PA ball.
Yeah, and I mean, he needed about a half-yard more, and he gets the 1st down.
Got to credit the PA defense for making the tackle as soon as he caught it.
And once again, though, Wes, another defensive stop. I mean, we have seen a ton of defense here in the 3rd quarter. We had 46 points scored in the 1st half, and not 1 point's been scored here in the 3rd.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns in the 1st half.
Yeah.
PA takes over right inside the 40. Busby looking to pass. All kinds of time to throw, and it's almost picked off. They were trying to get the ball to Jalen McKinney, but Mackey is there once again.
Yeah, Mackey stepped in front of the throw, and that could have been an easy pick 6 because he's rolling on the right side, and there was just nothing but open field.
2nd and 10. Ball around the 40. Busby. Got a little pressure in his face. He lets it fly. Throws deep to his receiver, McCarroll. McCarroll can't bring it in.
And once again, great coverage. He had 3 guys converge on the wide receiver that time, and Busby just threw it in the spot only his receiver was going to get to it, but it was just a little short.
Yeah, I think that was a good throw. You said it right. He threw it where only McCarroll could come up with it. When he first threw it, I thought he threw it into maybe double coverage, and that was a poor decision. But that was a good, smart throw where he put it. Gave his receiver a chance. 3rd and 10. Busby rolls right. Now he's going to try to throw back left, setting up a screen to Jordan. Jordan's got room to run. Jordan to the 50, to the 45. He's got a 1st down and much more. Kenny Jordan down to the 30-yard line. That is a big play of 30 yards for the Bruins.
I mean, he's doing it all for the Bruins in this game. Running, catching passes. I'll have to look at his all-purpose yards for this game because he is having a big night.
That's his 2nd catch of the game. The 1st catch went for 18 yards. That one gets the ball down to about the 30. They're going to hand it off to Jordan. Jordan ran right into the defensive lineman.
Well, he's tired.
I always wonder about that. Running back has a big play, runs all the way down the field.
And they're going to give it back to him.
Get over the ball, hurry, let's go. And they give it right back to him. Like,
yeah.
Hey, he's been doing that all year. He's in shape. He's ready for it.
I think he's going to check out for just a moment.
He does check out. And they'll bring in Charlie Cotros to give him a little bit of a break. 2nd and 10. 53 seconds to go in the quarter. Bruins trying to get a lead or increase their lead. Busby, quick pass out. Throws it to McKinney. McKinney across the 25.
And now we've got a penalty flag down here at the 23-yard line.
The Greenwood fans started clapping. I'm not sure, was that a hold on Charette? I don't.
I mean, it was right. It was right there at the collision. So, and Greenwood saying it's against Pulaski Academy.
We'll hear from him and see the replay and see what it was.
Holding
Yeah.
on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay second down.
That may have been on 4, John Mark Charette. We'll see a good look here.
Yeah,
There's 4 right there. Now we can't see, he's out of the picture.
Well, he had, just on that one, it looked like he had his usually you want to keep those hands on the inside of the shoulder pads. And it looked like he kind of had that right hand pushed him outside of it.
Great vision there from the sideline ref to be able to see that while he was watching the hit on McKinney. He could see 2 things at once. There's a broken tackle. Was that Busby? Yeah, it was Busby.
Yeah.
Busby breaks the tackle, gets back to the 25, gets the ball back to where it was. It was funny, I was watching the ref, and he's watching McKinney where he stepped out of bounds, and he reaches for the flag and throws it for a penalty that was on down the field. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. I think some of those Greenwood coaches were yelling at him right there what was going on, what he couldn't see. We got a great fourth quarter coming up. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Thank you.
I think athletics are really important for young people. It teaches you to not only trust others, but to help others when they need a pick-me-up. And I think high school athletics do a great job of saying, hey, I can lead you, I can show you how to do something, or I can follow your example. I'm Bobby Swafford, and I just ask that you think about giving to Arkansas PBS.
All right, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Pulaski Academy leads at 25-21. Here's how we got here. Greenwood scored first. Braden Davis, a 4-yard touchdown run, made it 7-0. Later on, they added a Jake Glover run. They were up 14-6. The Bruins got going. He had a short touchdown run from Cale Busby. Then you had a nice play from Jake Glover, a little screen, tunnel pass, 39 yards. Cale Busby, Kenny Jordan caps off the scoring, made it 25-21. Right, here's a great pass to John Mark Charette there in the first half. 25-21 was the score at the half. 25-21 is the score right now. Nothing happening in the third quarter, at least when it comes to the scoreboard. And the defenses have been the story in the third quarter. Just, I got to say, the adjustments that the defensive coordinators made at halftime have been outstanding.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have really stepped up their game here in the second half. Like we talked about a minute ago, 46 points in the first half, and we've yet to have a point here in the second half so far. And so it's been because of the defensive performances.
3rd and 5. Bruins marching. Kenny Jordan coming back the other way. Jordan breaks a tackle, gets the first down inside the 20, down to the 19. He picks up 7 there. Kenny Jordan will go over to about 168 yards rushing on the night. Cale Busby with 220 yards passing.
He's having an MVP type of night, that's for sure. He's doing a really good job of seeing the field, the vision so far in this one, and man, he is having an exceptional night.
John Mark Charette in motion. Good to see him back in there. Quick pass to Charette. Charette hit immediately. He'll lose a yard on that play. Excellent job by the Greenwood Bulldogs at that time. Josh Allen coming up. making the tackle. They're going to say forward progress. Leaves the ball at the 19, so no gain on the play. Second down, just starting the fourth quarter. Busby with Jordan in the backfield. Busby rolls to his left. Busby looking, has a receiver. Good pass, good catch. They'll say he stepped out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Here in a moment, let's go down to Dorian. She's got something on Evan Williams, who.
Oh, they say he did catch that?
It looks like it.
I thought I couldn't tell. That's on the far sideline, incomplete. I'm getting the signal it was incomplete.
But Dorian's got something on Evan Williams, who made a tackle a moment ago. So here in a little bit, we'll go down to her.
Bruins 3rd and 10. 4 receivers to the left. Just one receiver. That's Kenny Jordan lined up to his right. Busby calling for it. Busby's just going to keep it. He's going to run up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Can't get past the linebacker. He'll get it down to the 16-yard line. Short gain on the play. So that's going to bring up 4th down for the Bruins.
Well, you know it's good. Go for it time for the Bruins. As
they're bringing in a whole different personnel. This is strange.
Is this a field goal unit?
I think it is, RJ. Yes. Yeah, they've got the holder out there. He's counting the yards. He's lining up the kicker. Let's go to the kicker so we can see the kicker. Bruins going for the field goal. This will be about a 33-yard field goal. Kick is up. It is line drive kick, and it is good. The Bruins kicked a field goal to increase the lead to 28-21. John Stephen Goodwin with the field goal.
I mean, you know, what's normally conventional in normal football is very unconventional tonight for Pulaski Academy. They're punting it. They're kicking field goals. They're kicking off all the way downfield. And, hey, look, they've now grown that lead to 28-21.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. What a smart decision by Coach Lucas and his staff to kick the field goal. They obviously had faith in the kicker. And look, I've seen them kick more extra points than I have in years past. And it wasn't the prettiest, but you know what? That ball went in between the goalposts, and that's 3 points. Let's head down to the sideline. Dorian Kraft.
Well, a big player on that drive was linebacker Evan Williams, who's been getting praise from none other than former Razorback in Jacksonville Jaguar, Grant Morgan. Morgan told Harold McIlvain of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette that you can tell how much the game means to Williams by the way that he flies around, saying, "I love how he shows up angry to the ball. The dude just flies around." Of course, Williams followed Morgan's career at Greenwood, called Morgan an inspiration, and said that Morgan is someone he really looks up to.
Thank you, Dorian. The Bruins look like they're going to kick it off, and they do for a second time. They kick it. Greenwood fields the kick at about the 19-yard line. The Bruins make the tackle right around the 30. So the Bruins playing field position. They don't want to give Greenwood the ball at the 50-yard line and have a short field.
Well, smart move by Anthony Lucas, to get away from what he does normally to kick the field goal, because now you've got a one-touchdown game. So if Greenwood were to go down and drive the field, now we've got a tie ball game potentially. And so that's just thinking ahead by Anthony Lucas.
It shows a lot of faith. He's like, you know what, our defense is playing well. We've stopped them now, I think, 5 times in a row. Let's see if the defense
100%
can't win the game. It's kind of like Brad Bolding said at halftime of the 5A state championship game when they were up at the half. He said, you know what, if they don't score again, we win.
Yeah, 100%.
Bruins got to be thinking the same thing. They don't score again, we win. Gain of 4 on first down. 2nd and 6. Houston checking with the sideline. Grant Carnes down on the near sideline. They got 3 receivers lined up right. L.J. Robbins in the slot. Now Aiden Kennan comes in motion. He's going to line up kind of as an H-back. Houston going to take off, run with it. He pulls up, hits his man Carnes. Carnes spinning across the 50. What a heads-up play that time from Houston. I thought Houston was going to take off and start running with it, but the Bruins had somebody there. And he stops, pulls up, and throws a bullet.
And you know what's impressive for Grant Carnes? I mean, the kid is only a sophomore, and what he does when he gets the football is impressive.
Bruins all over that handoff. I think it was Miles Ward again. Miles Ward into the backfield. Gets on top of Glover and slings him down to the ground. You can see Glover, his stature there.
Yeah, and he's walking with a little bit of a limp. It may have stepped on that ankle for a brief moment, so he's going to go over the sideline and take a breather.
2nd down and 10. PA bringing some pressure. Linebacker trying to come. They stop him. Quick pass to Kidden over the middle. Kidden makes a move, gets across the 40. I think he picked up a 1st down with that move.
Yeah, the official is standing right there, really between the 40 and 42, and they are going to call it a 1st down.
I think it was going to be short, then he fights off the tackle, and then when the Bruin, the second help came, I think it knocked him forward. He got the 1st down. Greenwood looking deep, trying to go deep. They got a receiver, diving, catch isn't made. Carnes couldn't bring it in.
Well, Carnes gave it everything. There for a minute I thought he had it. He had a diving effort into the end zone and just couldn't quite come up with it. Good effort that time.
Here's a look at the replay. So close, stretching out for it.
And he had it briefly.
And hit the ground, and it came out. Almost a spectacular grab by Carnes. 2nd and 10. Fake, going deep again. He's got a receiver. He's got it this time. Touchdown, L.J. Robbins.
Well, you want to talk about redemption for L.J. Robbins. He missed the one in the end zone on the other end, and then he missed the big play down here at the 30, but it's redemption time as he's 1 point away now from tying this ball game.
L.J. Robbins brings it in. Had his man beat and scores. Now the important extra point. Good snap, good hold, kick is up. It is good. We're all tied at 28. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Since 1999, we've been with you every step of the way. From your first savings account, to graduation, to your first home. Centennial Bank is here to walk with you into the future. Though we've grown, Arkansas is still our home. We're still local bankers invested in our communities, here to help you however we can. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We'll be here when you need us. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
There it is, the tying score. Hunter Houston to L.J. Robbins. We're knotted up at 28 with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We thought this was going to be a good game. I don't know how many people stopped me and said, this is going to be the best game of the weekend, don't you think? And I said, I think so. I don't know. I mean, this is a great weekend. You got Bryant playing Bentonville, Hazen, Carlisle. Of course, Parkview was taking on Shiloh Christian.
Well, today's games, you know, we had the 5A game earlier today. It was a good one, and so today has been a fun day of high school football.
Kenny Jordan fields that one. He makes one guy miss, gets across the 30, down to the 31. Bruins will take over there.
Kenny Jordan is doing everything. He's returning kickoffs. He's catching passes. He's running the football.
Kenny Jordan's got 27 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's caught 2 passes for 48 yards. So, yeah, he's done a little bit of everything.
Arkansas PBS is Arkansas's home for high school sports, but we need your support to make it all happen. Make sure you donate by calling the 1-800 number on the screen or go online to the hashtag donate at myarkansaspbs.org.
Bruins coming out on the field. See John Mark Charette out there. There's Pfizer. Kenny Jordan goes in motion. Cale Busby. He's got time to throw. He's throwing across the middle, deep over the middle. And McKinney caught that. Wow. What a catch.
Wow. I mean, he's got 2 guys right there. You think that, you know, somebody's going to go up and make a play. There's no way that's going to happen. And Kenny goes to the highest point he can get to make this catch. Look at that.
Wow. Jalen McKinney moves the ball inside the 40. Kenny Jordan can't break away that time. PA trying the run game. That's the second time they pulled him down by his T-shirt or his jersey.
That's like a Dura.
Can we tuck that in and so they can't pull you down?
That's a Dura shirt because usually that thing would be ripped by now.
Yeah, that's a jersey. I'm telling Kenny to tuck that in. I don't want him grabbing your jersey anymore. That's the second time. Jordan's going to take it again. He's going over the right side, bounces it back inside to the middle. He gets to the 31-yard line. Short gain. They'll give him 3. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. We got an injury timeout. Looks like something up. He hopped up, so the trainer's going back out. They're checking on him, making sure you're okay. Looks like he's okay. They're going to keep the clock ticking. They're not stopping play. Kenny Jordan lined out wide left. 4 receivers to the right. 3rd and 7. Busby, quick pass out. Couldn't block the defensive backman, but Kenny breaks through. Looked like they were going to blow that play up for a big loss. McKinney he didn't make anything. He lost a yard, but he could have lost about 5.
Yeah, and that could have been really bad.
Yeah, the Bruins were trying to set up almost like a wide receiver screen for McKinney, but the Greenwood defender slipped that blocker. 4th and 8. We got a timeout. Looks like on the Greenwood side. Yep, they call a timeout. So the Bulldogs, they know this is a big play. They saw how PA lined up. They want to talk about it. Maybe didn't like how they lined up. Didn't feel good about things. So it's 4th and 8. Big play here. PA on the 31-yard line. The Bulldogs are the ones trying to get a couple of stops now.
Yeah, and this 4th down and 8 situation, you wonder what Anthony Lucas is going to dial up right here because, they love going with the crossing patterns, especially in the short, when they need 8 yards. Receivers get to the sticks. I would suspect you're going to see something like that. I can't imagine you're going to line up with Kenny Jordan in the backfield and just hand it to him. I would almost venture to say you'd see an empty backfield with 5 wide in the formation.
We've seen them go to McKinney on 4th down. We've seen them go to John Mark Charette on 4th down. The Bruins on 4th down are 3 for 3. They've done a really good job on 4th down.
And they got 4 wide on this side with 1 on that top side.
McKinney goes in motion. Busby with a little pressure, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it deep into the end zone for McKinney. McKinney goes up for it, and it's picked off, but there's a flag. I think they're going to get defensive pass interference, or defensive pass interference. McKinney goes up to catch it, and the cornerback just never turned around and grabbed him there in the end zone. But I think it was the safety that was going to have a chance to pick it off.
I mean, there was 3 defenders in the area.
Pass interference. Defense. The 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Distance makes it 1st down.
Busby just heaves it deep into the end zone to give McKinney a chance.
He did have.
They're calling it on 6, not 4. Yeah. The fans are booing because you had 4 there that was making a great play. I thought he was going to pick it off. That was Brady Mackey again. I don't know how many times I've called his name, but the penalty wasn't on him. They called it on Skaggs.
Yeah, Skaggs actually kind of gave him the push, and that's what got the call.
What a cut by Kenny Jordan. Jordan to the 1. Kenny Jordan in for the score. Touchdown, Bruins. Wow, another great run from Kenny Jordan. He met the defender at the 1. Credit to that Greenwood Bulldog defender. He stood him up. It was a battle of him and Jordan. I didn't think Jordan was going to score, but then it was one of his teammates that came and pushed him in. Watch this collision right here.
Yeah, that's a great job pulling the ring, and then it was just a melee of players that came and gave a push.
That was Alan Thomason that pushed him in for the touchdown. We need to give Allen and it blocked. The extra point is blocked, so that could be huge. That's a 6-point lead now for the Bruins. The Bulldogs can score, get the extra point, and go up by 1.
Yeah, that is big right there. And, if you're Pulaski Academy, you kind of got to, usually you're one to go for 2 every time, and now they've kind of settled for extra points. And well, I tell you what, that could turn out to be a big-time play.
That was a big-time play. That was a 43 for Greenwood that broke through there, got his hands up. Evan Williams once again. I don't know if you guys could see it on TV, but this Greenwood sideline is furious. They gave the officials a chewing from about the 10-yard line all the way to the 40. The head official came over. Coach Young was livid. He is still livid. They are furious with what the non-call for the call. They felt like it should have been a non-call for pass interference. And the Bruins take advantage by scoring on the next play. Kenny Jordan, by the way, now has 188 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Bruins lining up for the kickoff. They're going to kick it deep again. It's a good deep kickoff by the Bruins. Sends the Greenwood returner to the 10. He cuts across the 20. The Bruins bring him down at the 25. We'll go down the sideline, check in with Dorian Kraft.
A roller coaster of emotions here over the last couple of seconds on the Greenwood sideline. You were right, head coach Chris Young incensed over that pass interference call, and he was still giving it to the referees as they went back down the field. But Evan Williams coming in and blocking that extra point, it was like the light switched. All of a sudden there's energy back over on this Greenwood sideline, and that blocked extra point could end up being huge.
Houston across the middle has a receiver, and he's picked off. The receiver couldn't catch it. It went through his hands. The Bruins make it. The catch, and they're returning it back inside the 10. What a change of events. What a play. Through the receiver's hands, the Bruins pick it off. It was similar to what happened in the first half, and Patton Wicker picks it off. Wicker with his 6th interception of the year. Patton Wicker with the biggest play of the game.
Well, and actually, if you on the pre-snap, Wicker was lined up on the outside, and one of the linebackers told him to move back towards the middle, and so he wasn't even fully set because he was running back towards the middle. Talk about right place, right time. He was there to get the interception.
L.J. Robbins had a huge play to tie this game up. This time the ball goes through his hands, right into the hands of Wicker. Bruins have the ball inside the 10, 1st and goal at the 9. 6:19 to play in this game. Kenny Jordan. They fake it to Jordan. No, they give it to Jordan. Jordan over the right side. Jordan jumps over his offensive lineman. Jordan still moving the pile forward. The offensive line pushing Jordan forward. Still moving. They finally blow it dead. Jordan gets the ball to about the 5-yard line. Inside the 5. That's a pickup of 5. Bruins marching, less than 6 minutes to play in this game. They are up 6.
Yeah, the clock's rolling under 6 minutes now, and Pulaski Academy, rather than just getting it and going, they ought to run some time off the clock.
Well, I was about to say that. Well, they are. Now they kind of break the huddle. 15 seconds on the play clock. Bring John Mark Charette in motion. Busby rolls left. Busby's just going to keep it. Busby into the end zone. Bruins score. They take a 2nd possession lead. 2-possession lead for the Bruins. 40-28. Now, do you go for 2 here? You're up 12. Do you try to chase that block extra point? You go up 14 if you get the 2-point conversion.
I was going to say you probably do, and get back to the way you play your game, because now it's a 2-score game and you can make it a 14-point game.
Busby with the big touchdown. That is now 3 touchdowns rushing for Busby. He's also, you know what? Busby hasn't thrown a touchdown yet.
Has he not?
He has not, but he's run for 3.
And he's thrown for 254 yards in the game. 2 picks, right?
Yeah, 18 of 29, the 1 tip pass.
Yeah.
The second interception was kind of at the end of the first half with 10 seconds left. He threw it up. I think I don't really fault him for that. But this is a good, tough run for Busby. Gets into the end zone. And it's 40-28. We got a timeout here. They're going to discuss this. Bruins want to get on the same page. I love this camera, by the way. How sharp is this camera?
You know, they brought this, I guess, last year into the championships, and it's kind of like a point of view focused camera. I can't remember what they call it, but boy, it is a nice. I love the shots that it gives, and really stepping their game up here at Arkansas PBS. They add something every year to try to make these broadcasts a little bit better.
I call it, it's not your daddy's camcorder.
No, it is not. That's not, I don't think I don't use my iPhone. It doesn't do anything like that in the portrait mode.
All right, 2-point conversion for the Bruins, trying to go up 14 points. Busby with Kenny Jordan to his right. Receivers go in motion. They'll reset. Now Jordan, he's going to take the direct snap. Jordan, nothing there. Jordan makes one guy miss, and Jordan fights his way, gets into the end zone. That was all Kenny Jordan. I mean, Kenny Jordan looked like he was stopped on 2 different occasions, sidestepped a couple of tackles, and found a way to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he was dead to rights, and when he put that left foot in the ground and came back is when he got in the end zone.
Nothing there. Makes that guy miss. Looks like he's going to be stopped, wheels his way in, falls into the end zone. That's a big play. The Bruins go up 14 with 5.5 minutes to go. Greenwood's got 2 timeouts left, so they're going to have to march down the field, score pretty quickly. You know, you got to think within 2 or 3 minutes, so there's about 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to either onside kick it or get a stop. You got 2 timeouts. So there's a chance, even if they can get 3 and out, use 2 of their timeouts, get the ball back, they still got a chance.
Yeah, no,
they still got a chance.
And look, as quickly as Greenwood can score, I mean, look, I don't think a 14-point game is out of reach by any stretch of the imagination, and they've shown that tonight. You know, both defenses have started playing a lot better here in the second half, but look, I don't underestimate Hunter Houston and his abilities and these receivers.
Kickoff goes deep. This time they send Grant Carnes back to return it. Carnes across the 30. Carnes to the 38-yard line. Good return from Carnes. They've had Arrington back there. And that time they switched it out, put Carnes. Carnes return gives them a kind of a boost with the return out to the 39-yard line.
Well, you got great field position to start this drive, and you're going to see a lot of vertical passing right now because they're going to go 4 and 5 wide throughout this drive.
Houston brings L.J. Robbins in motion. Houston looking to his right. Houston finds his receiver, goes across midfield, picks up the first down. They'll stop the clock, move the chains.
That's a great job by Noah Chaser for Greenwood. He just went, found a curl route, got on it, and came back and made the play, got the first down.
Yeah, Chaser, they've been going a lot to Chaser here in the second half. He's got a receiver striking over the middle. L.J. Robbins touchdown just like that. That's a bust in coverage.
But it's 2 plays. I mean, we just talked about how quickly they can score. And L.J. Robbins streaked down the middle of the field, and you've got a 2-play drive, and it's a 1-score game again.
That's the last thing in the world that the Pulaski Academy defense could do.
Yeah.
They need to force them to drive down the field methodically, slowly, work that clock. The only thing they could do that could prevent them from winning the game is give up the big play. And that's just what happened.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Here's the extra point to make it a 7-point game. So, it's good. It's getting exciting. 35-42. Bulldogs strike back just like that. L.J. Robbins waits on it, catches it, and sprints forward for the touchdown.
I love how we had no points in the third quarter.
None.
And now we're up to 30 points here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, actually 31.
Yeah.
They haven't put the extra point on there yet. So, yeah, 31 points in the fourth quarter.
So they just needed a breather. They needed an extended halftime to let the defenses play a little bit, and then the offense has gotten hot again.
Five minutes, 10 seconds to go. I see the PA playing like prevent onside kick. There's no need for Greenwood to kick an onside kick here.
No.
I wouldn't give the Bruins the field position.
You got plenty of time with 5:10 remaining. You get a stop, and you can go down and try to tie the ball game. But the key is getting a stop, and they've not been able to do that so far, really here in the fourth quarter.
They're going to kick it deep. Kenny Jordan fields it inside the 20. Jordan to the 25, bounces it outside to the 30. Big hit. He's blasted out of bounds. That fires up the Greenwood sideline.
And for Greenwood, that was Aiden Kennan who came in and he delivered the big blow. And looks like there's a Pulaski Academy player down on the field. That's Zach Edwards. Oh, excuse me, not Zach Edwards. That's looks like Alex Zeldin.
So we got a timeout on the field. PA will take over at their 30. You know, Kenny Jordan, we talked about this briefly. Kenny Jordan's done a great job this season. Joe Hyman's at Northwestern. He was an all-state player for 3 years for the Bruins. But I know, Dorian, you've been very impressed with what Kenny Jordan's been able to do this season.
Oh, yeah, Kenny Jordan's been able to take over for Joe Hyman and really filling in that need. A different runner than Joe Hyman. Jordan, much more of an all-purpose back, but we saw flashes of it last year in spots when Hyman wasn't available, but he has really grown, and head coach Anthony Lucas just so impressed with how Jordan has been able to fill that gap left by Joe Hyman this season.
You know, we've seen Charlie Cotros in the game sometimes. Sometimes, you know, when Kenny Jordan just gets winded and needs a break. Well, that was Kenny Jordan's role last year for Joe Hyman. Sometimes Joe Hyman just needed a break, and you'd see Kenny Jordan come in, and you'd see flashes. You're like, whoa, this sophomore can go. I think PA is going to be okay at running back next year when Joe Hyman leaves. Now, look, it's tough to fill those shoes of Joe Hyman. He was a guy that was rushing for 2,000 yards and having 1,000 yards receiving. Well, you know what? Kenny Jordan's come kind of close to that with 1,500 yards rushing and 800 yards. The ball's on the ground. That was Jordan that let it go. And that was almost a disaster. Kel Busby falls on it. It's going to be a big loss. But this happened last week against Catholic twice. They put the ball on the ground on the quarterback, running back exchange. And it happened once again. No, this time he had it. Kenny Jordan had it. The linebacker came blitzing in and knocked the ball out of Kenny Jordan's hands. That's just a great play from that linebacker coming in.
Yeah, that was a great job. And really, you're starting to see the pressure. Look, Greenwood's got now 4 guys on the line of scrimmage where they had 3 previously, but they put 4 now at the line of scrimmage.
McKinney goes in motion. They're going to throw it out quick to McKinney. McKinney's got a blocker out there. McKinney makes one guy miss. He gets to about the 30-yard line. He picks up close to the 9 yards they lost on that fumble. So that's going to create 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 11.
And you know, you say manageable for a Pulaski Academy team or a Greenwood team. For most teams, 3rd and 11, you're saying, well, that's third and long.
We may have something to discuss after this play, but for now it's 3rd down. Busby with it. He's rolling right. Busby under pressure. Throws it sidearm. He can't connect with his receiver, Jalen McKinney. So now we got a decision, RJ. It is 4th and 11. You have the ball on your own 29.
Yeah, and we've seen Anthony Lucas punt the football a couple times so far in this game. And look, it's a 1-score game. You've got 11 yards to get to, and I think they're going to punt it.
I think you have to punt it.
Yeah.
Greenwood doesn't have anybody back. Busby's lining up. Busby backing up. He's going to punt it. Snap, quick punt. That's a good punt. Spiraling punt. Lands inside the 35, gets a great PA bounce. That's inside the 20, coming back. The Bruins will down it at the 20. That's going to be a 51-yard punt, net punt. I think the Bruins will sign up for that any day.
Yeah, but now, okay, so you got 4:02 left. We saw this Greenwood offense go 2 plays and a touchdown on their last possession. They're down a touchdown. You don't have to get it all in 1 or 2 plays. You've got 4 minutes to get down and try to tie the ball game.
Plenty of time. PA defense, Greenwood offense has been a battle tonight. 35-42. Bruins coming, trying to bring some pressure. It's across the middle, tip, and falls to the ground.
Boy, Hunter Houston, he reared back and unleashed that football, and it was a bit high, but he fired a fastball in there that time.
Aiden Kennan went up, tried to bring it down, just couldn't do it. We've seen one go through a receiver's hands, and PA came up with the interception. That's how they got their 2-touchdown lead. That time it just falls to the ground. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff, looking right, throws it right. Great coverage, but Greenwood makes a great catch. That was Grant Carnes. I tell you what, that PA defender was all over him. He read the route. KJ Colin was with him. But Carnes makes the catch, picks up 7. It's 3rd and 3.
And I can't, I've said it a couple times tonight, but this Carnes kid is, he's going to have a special career at Greenwood if he keeps this up. He's had a great night tonight.
Houston all alone, sends receiver motion. We got a flag, false start. That'll push Greenwood back 5.
Prior to the snap, false start against Greenwood. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Be 3rd and 8. Greenwood facing a huge play here. Ball's on the 22. They need to get it to the 30. That time, I thought I saw 8 in the game. I still see 8. That's Kane Archer. Is he not coming off the field right now? Is that not 8?
Yeah.
They were trying something. I knew I saw 8 out there. I wondered what was going on. Now Greenwood's calling timeout. There was all kinds of confusion. I thought I saw 8 on the play before, and I was like, well, I haven't seen 8 at wide receiver yet. This is strange.
Well, they had Archer in there, and at the very last moment, he came running off, and they put Jake Glover back in the game.
But I think he was in the play before is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then he was staying in. Then at the last minute he came out. And it may be something they're setting up. Or then again, he may play a little wider decoy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure now that he's been in, the PA coaches are kind of like me, and they're like, whoa, what is 8 doing? Okay, now they're alerting them, hey, if 8's in there, look for a double pass. Look at something where they're trying to, they got a second quarterback in there that can throw it, so they're alerting everybody. Now 8's not, I see Kane Archer, he's coming off. He's standing around the 25-yard line. So a timeout with the Bulldogs. They've talked it over, trying to figure out what they want to do. It's 3rd and 10, and it could be decision time for them if they don't get a first down here. 3:24 left in the game. Now we got another whistle. Official says timeout PA. Bruins maybe using their last timeout.
Boy, you just punch counterpunch right now, and if you're Pulaski Academy, you want to draw up the right defense on this 3rd down, and the scoreboard says 3rd down and 10, but where the down marker is, it's inside the marker. It's saying about 3rd down and 8. So
yeah, you're right. They need to get to the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
I remember that punt rolling dead right at the 20-yard line. But remember, it was short. It was going to be about 3rd and 3 after the great catch from Carnes. And then they had the false start that pushes them back to 3rd and 8. The scoreboard is just off here at the stadium. Then on our TV screen. So alert everybody that it's 3rd and 8. And they need to get the ball to about the 30-yard line. Now they've got the ball squarely there on the 22. You see some of the Bruin fans there in the crowd. They're excited. This is a big play. Big play.
There's 3 down linemen for Pulaski Academy. They're split out wide. They know a pass is coming.
A little pressure at the last minute, and it's down. I think they're going to say he threw it. That's got to be an incomplete pass. Yeah, there they go. They're on the sides. They're saying incomplete pass. I was looking at the officials in the backfield. They weren't saying anything. They weren't doing anything. But here comes the late pressure on Houston. Romello Bell's coming. He also, see, that was Josh.
Either way,
Holloman came in there. Yeah, that was Holloman that came in, applied the pressure, made him get rid of it. So 4th down. It's 4th and 8. They're going for it. So this is it. This could be the ball game if PA gets the stop. They're going to send L.J. Robbins out wide to the right. Looking across the middle. They're looking deep. Deep across the middle to Robbins. And what a play from the PA defense. Knocking it away at the last second. Jet Smith with a huge play. How about the senior going up, getting a hand up, and knocking it down on 4th and 8.
And he was running step for step with LJ, and just at that last moment came up with the right hand and was able to knock it away to have a turnover, to really have a turnover on downs.
Jet Smith with 2 interceptions on the year, with 5 passes broken up, but that's the biggest PBU of his life right there. To go up and knock it down on 4th and 8. So Bruins take over, 1st and 10 on the 22, 3:14 to go. They have a 7-point lead. They're going to want to work some clock. Busby may just keep it running. That's what he's going to do. Follows his line, puts his head down, gets the ball inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 18.
And Greenwood's only got 1 timeout left with 3 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. So, they're gonna need to get a stop for sure if they want to, and it's going to be most likely a 4th down stop if they're going to try to get this one done.
It was a good look at the replay right there. The pass broken up by Jet Smith. Just goes up. Both hands. I liked how he did both hands. He just went up. He's going to make sure to get a hand on that ball. Shut the play clock's down to 5 seconds. Bruins milking that play clock. Busby calls for it with 1 second. Gives it to Kenny Jordan. Jordan, I think he ran into his own offensive lineman, kind of knocked him sideways, but he got the ball inside the 19-yard line. So a gain there, or they'll get it to about 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Got 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game. 25 seconds on the play clock, so the Bruins can get it inside 2 minutes without taking the snap. 3rd and 2. Bruins sideline getting excited. That's the noise you can hear. The cheerleaders, the student section. They sense it. 4 receivers to the left. Kenny Jordan out to the right. I bet Busby keeps it. Runs it right up the middle. Busby right up the middle. Busby going to be stopped short, I believe, of the first down. Yes, he's short. That was a great job by the Greenwood defense right there. They sniffed it out. They had it. They knew what was coming.
Well,
look, if I'm smart enough to figure it out, they knew what was coming too. But they made the tackle. Give credit to those linebackers stepping up and tackling Busby short.
And we saw it earlier, Wes, where Pulaski Academy on 3rd down they ran it with Busby. They split 4 wide to the left side, and then they came back on 4th down and did it again on 4th and short. So I mean, if you're Greenwood, I think you put 4 down linemen and stack your linebackers in there a little bit, because there's a high probability Busby's going to take it himself again.
Well, I was about to say, what do you do here if you're Anthony Lucas? It's 4th down and about. It's a long one. There's 1:36 left. If you get the first down, game's over.
Ball game, yeah.
You can take some knees, or you can try a field goal. They tried a field goal earlier. They kicked a field goal. It was how far was it? I don't have it here on this sheet.
Yeah. No, I mean,
so they've done the field goal before. Can they do it again? Would they do it again? Is my point.
Yeah, I think you put the nail in the coffin if you're Pulaski Academy. You've got the opportunity. Your game is to go for it on 4th down, and that's what they're going to do right here. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. But I'm going to tell you right now, Busby, don't be surprised if he takes it himself.
Kenny Jordan with it right up the middle. Jordan with the push. They got it with the push. The offensive line got behind Kenny Jordan and pushed him across to the 11-yard line. Pulaski Academy, a team known for throwing it all over the field, a team known for onside kicks, a team known for not punting the ball. PA just won this game by running the ball right up the middle.
Yeah, and, you know, I said you'd see Busby possibly run it, but good job by Anthony Lucas to let his workhorse go get that first down, and he just handed it to him and said, hey, go get this thing.
Kenny Jordan, that was his 35th carry of the night and his most important carry of the night. He has 192 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Kenny Jordan's your MVP. They haven't voted on it yet. They haven't handed me the slip. But if it's anybody besides Kenny Jordan, we're going to have a conversation around here. They just gave me the nod. It's Kenny Jordan.
The nod, yeah.
PA letting that clock run right now. Less than 10 on the play clock. They'll take it and just take a knee. Greenwood, no timeouts. There's nothing they can do. The Bruins are about to win their state championship, 4th state championship in a row, but they're first in 6A.
Yeah.
There's Anthony Lucas right there. He's yelling as the celebration's about to begin. They'll be getting the Gatorade here soon. That's a good look right there at their offensive coordinator, Adam Thrash. He's done an outstanding job of calling the game tonight. 42 seconds left. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Busby takes the snap, the knee, and that is it. The Pulaski Academy Bruins can celebrate because they've just won another state championship, this time at the 6A level. A lot of people said they couldn't do it, but the Bruins have pulled it off, winning another state title. That's 2 in 2 years for Anthony Lucas.
And in 2 different classifications. I mean, Anthony Lucas, he's a class act.
Well, you said it, class act. He was just yelling at his team because they were off celebrating. He said, get in here behind me, come shake their hands. Yeah. And that's what his team is. They heard what he said, and they're in line shaking hands. We're going to come back hear from Coach Lucas. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Hey, Coach! That's me. Hey, here comes Coach Lucas. Dorian Kraft has Coach Lucas now. Let's head down there.
Coach, 2 programs that are known for their offense, and it came down to a defensive stand. What did you see on that 4th down with 3.5 minutes to go that allowed you to get the turnover?
First of all, I want to give honor to God. All glory go to God. Next, Greenwood is a phenomenal football team. They got they got a great program. And Coach Young has done a great job. I told our defense to just keep fighting and just give us one more time. You know, I said it pregame, when we turn the ball over offensively, I feel like we owe our defense. And we owed our defense, and they just hung in there and fought. The one thing that worries me, you know, with us all year, we go in at halftime and we're up, but then we come back out. We don't stop. We let teams score. And I think that happened here, but these guys, they just kept fighting, and I'm just so proud of our kids, so happy for our seniors and our program.
Coach, you told me before kickoff you had something to prove. What did your team show you tonight?
They proved it tonight. They came out and they fought back. You know, there was talk that we were soft early on when we went to Greenwood. We played in Greenwood on October 28th. Our kids took that to the heart, and they wanted to come out and prove something that, you know, that we're better. We're not soft. You know, we're Pulaski Academy, and we play hard. And I told them after the game when we played up there is that, Coach, your kids outplayed us. They played hard in that second half up there in Greenwood, and we lost Kale and stuff, but it's always next man up. But tonight, it's the Pulaski Academy Bruins tonight.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Go Bruins.
Wes.
Great shot of Kenny Jordan there, hugging. He was awesome. Kenny Jordan is the MVP. 35 carries, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's not soft.
No.
35 carries, 192 yards. Oh, wait, by the way, he had a couple of receptions, 2 catches, 48 yards. So well over 200. Well, it's 240 total yards of offense tonight.
Well, and here's the thing. Kenny Jordan not only did he averaged 5.5 yards a carry. I mean, the kid was all over the place tonight. There's your Burlsworth Award winner in this one. And Wes, I just got to tell you, man, this game lived up to the hype. You know, we talked about games all weekend of which one was going to be the best, which one was, you know, going to live up to it. This one of all of them, it lived up to the hype. You had the shootout, you had the defense performance in the 3rd quarter, and then it just all offense broke loose in the 4th quarter.
Yes, 31 combined points in the 4th quarter, 17 for Pulaski Academy, 14 for Greenwood after neither team scored in the 3rd quarter. In the end, it's the Bruins. There they are celebrating their 8th state championship in 9 years. That's 4 in a row but it's now 8 and 9 years for Pulaski Academy. That is a heck of a run. We saw a run yesterday that continued for the Bryant Hornets, winning 5 straight. Well, this is 4 straight for the Bruins in the 6A. And their players, one of the things that's always impressive to me, their players know to run and go get the benches off the sideline, because we're going to take some pictures on the field after winning a state championship, and we need the bleachers, or we need the benches over there so people can sit down and stand on top of them so everybody can be on the picture. Well, they've done it so often, it's like a machine. They know how to celebrate at the end of a game.
Well, and you're right, Wes. And this is, I think, also really the impressive thing. You went from a 5A classification to a 6A classification to get this done. You know, I mean, you played in a really tough 6A. I mean, think about this, Wes. We were talking about the likes of Benton, Lake Hamilton, Little Rock Christian, Little Rock Catholic. I mean, this was not an easy conference to play in. And Pulaski Academy went from 5A up to 6A. And not only did they win the 5A last year, but now have come in and won the 6A title with all that competition that has been at 6A. You gotta tip your cap to Anthony Lucas and that entire Pulaski Academy team.
Heck of a season for the Bruins as they take some pictures and celebrating. Is that eight fingers up? Is that what they're doing? Is that 8 fingers?
Looks like it, yeah.
8 and 9 years, or 4 in a row. That's 4 in a row is what they're doing. That's 4 straight titles for the Pulaski Academy Bruins. Coming up next, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We need it after 3 great days at War Memorial Stadium. We will be back here next Saturday for 2 state championship games, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The 4A title, Harding Academy knocking off Arkadelphia in the last seconds with a field goal to walk it off. They will take on Malvern in the 4A state championship, and we've got a rematch just like this game in the 3A title. We'll have Boonville taking on Charleston. Charleston won the first game, but I'll tell you this, Boonville had some players out, some key players out in that game, and they feel like PA, they can lose the first one, but win the one that matters. So that'll be next Saturday here at War Memorial Stadium. What a night, what a day. 2 great games. Thank you for watching. For RJ Hawk, I'm Wes Moore. Have a great night, everybody.